Hello and welcome everyone to the home of the Cavemen here at American Fork High School in American Fork, Utah on this beautiful Friday night for a top 10 matchup between the now #1 Lone Peak Knights and the 10th ranked American Fork Cavemen here on the Rewind Sports Network on KSLSports.com. Nate Thatcher here alongside my broadcast partner Dave Harrison. And Dave, both of these teams have had phenomenal seasons so far. They're in a highly contested region, as we've been talking about all year. But this game is a monumental one, especially for the team in red.
Yeah, American Fork 5-0 going into last week's game against Davis. Davis, as we know, one of the top teams in 6A. And they didn't play very well in the first half. They felt like they figured things out in the second half. But they played better, and they feel like that's going to get them ready for a game tonight against Lone Peak.
The Knights are coming off of quite possibly their greatest regular season victory in history as they shocked a lot of people by just wrecking Corner Canyon. Senior quarterback Kepa Numetolu has been dealing with an injury bug. He's out. And junior quarterback Cruz Christensen has more than stepped up to the plate in his absence. Just how good has Cruz been stepping up in his role at quarterback?
Well, the biggest thing that stands out to me is that he's only got 1 interception. He's got 10 touchdowns, which means he's taking care of the ball, which means he's doing what his coach tells him to do. And his guys are making plays around him. And that's really kind of been the key to their success is they take the ball away and they don't give it up very often. So, he's been fantastic. I think that, Kepa's probably out until the first week of the playoffs with an MCL. So it's his chance to shine. And what a great problem to have when Kepa gets healthy to have 2 high-level quarterbacks.
You mentioned American Fork coming off of that loss to a really good Davis team. They fell behind early. They could never quite come back from a first quarter slump. Who in your mind needs to step up the most for American Fork to get a win here tonight?
Well, I think the consensus is their defensive backfield. Their safeties, corners, linebackers need to cover better. But that always starts with the defensive line. If you can get pressure on a quarterback with your front 4, that really helps out your DBs. They don't have to cover as long. So it's kind of a 2-part answer, but the DBs, they have to play better than they played last week against Davis.
For the first half of the season, the Cavemen kind of did a 1-2 punch between Nate Childs and Capono Manuela, both taking about 2 drives at a time each game, but it seems like Capono's been taking over recently, and he's been playing very well. He has 56% completion rate with 8 touchdowns and only 2 interceptions, and adding almost 200 yards on the ground as well. Just how important is that throw game tonight going to be for American Fork, especially against a really good Lone Peak defense?
In my opinion, coming into this game, American Fork should be looking at play calls that are going to keep the clock running. They put together 12 play drives and they cap those off with scores. And so I think the passing game is going to be the short, open, easy stuff that's there. Manuel needs to take care of the ball. That's going to be a big part of the game tonight. But if American Fork can control the clock, time of possession, and they can turn over a couple of Lone Peak plays, they've got a chance. But Lone Peak, man, they're coming off a huge win, and I expect that they're going to play really well. So
ranked #1 in the state and top 25 nationally. New territory here for the Knights as they kick it off, and the return will be brought out. Taken at the 15. Breaks a tackle up near the 20 and out to the 22-yard line. Goes that time, Gabe Sutton, the senior. So good starting field position for American Fork to start things out as they try and get an upset here, even though they are the 10th ranked team in the state. I mean, this is just a loaded region.
Yeah, it is. Region 3 is fantastic. The football that's played between here and Sandy is top, is probably as good a concentration of high school football as there is anywhere in the nation. Just fantastic football teams down here, great coaching. See how American Fork starts.
So it's Manuela alongside Prince Afu, the star running back, and it will be a handoff up the middle. They'll make it to about the 25-yard line, but that's about as far as they'll go for a gain of 3. So Prince Afu, that's a player we failed to mention in the pregame, but he ranks top 25 in the state in total rush yards at 526, averages almost 90 a game. I mean, these guys love to ground and pound, especially with Prince in that good-sized body.
Yeah, he's really going to be the key offensive player tonight. The offensive line has to do their job, but if Prince could pick up 3, 4, 5 yards of carry. That's exactly what American Fork's going to want to do tonight.
Reminder, our clock will be unofficial on our end, but we'll try and keep it as close as possible for those watching at home. It's a 2nd and 7, ball on the 25-yard line. Motion left to right, Manuela's going to pass. He finds Offu in the flat. And Offu's just going to truck a defender on his way out to the 31. He's going to set up a 3rd and short.
I like the play call. Really good job. That time they ran a slant from this near side receiver. The corner went with him even though they're in a cover 2, and he had the flat. So as soon as he went with that slant route, he hit the running back out of the backfield. Good read. Good job picking it up. You know, another thing I noticed is they're running the clock down to under 10 seconds every play, which means they're really going to try and control the clock tonight.
That's going to be crucial if they want to get the upset. Still waiting to get the call. Now it's at 10 on the play clock. They got it. It's going to be Manuela and Prince in the backfield. 2 receivers to his right, 1 to his left. Looks like a blitz coming off the right side. He's going to keep it himself. Manuela's got it for a 1st down.
Really nice job reading the end there. They brought pressure from this near side. Manuela pulled it, picked up the 1st down behind his guard who pulled the kick. So really good start for American Fork, and this is kind of what we talked about. This is the formula that they need to be able to implement and execute.
American Fork coming off of a 5-7 record last year. They finished 4th in Region 3. You can tell that the seniority on this roster has helped make them a very competitive team, especially in the best region in the state. Prince goes up the middle, and he's going to get nothing more than just about a yard on the play. Great stop that time by the front from Lone Peak.
Good time that time by the Lone Peak defensive end on this side. He didn't give up that lane like he did. He didn't get kicked out and didn't give Offu anywhere to run. The thing I did like about that was a pretty good surge by the offensive line, even though they didn't pick up any yards. It's a positive sign when they're pushing the line of scrimmage.
2nd and 9, and we've got some early movement, and there's our first flag for the game. And it's going to be a false start against American Fork. And that's just something you don't want to see, especially as a team. I mean, you're going up against the top team in the state. You can't have penalties like that stall your momentum in your drives.
Yeah, what it does is it takes you out of your play calling rhythm because you're looking for your next 3 or 4 or 5 yard play. Now you've got to come up with something that's more 7, 8 yards, and that might not necessarily be their comfort zone.
So now it'll be a 2nd and 14, ball on the 31-yard line. Manuela in the backfield gets the snap. It's going to be a pass. He's got lots of time and a great pocket. Nice pass up the middle. Caught that time by Dyson Richards, the senior tight end, who already has 2 touchdowns on the year as well as 140 yards. Adds to that right there.
Yeah, that's a big-time throw right there. They dropped 8 into coverage. Dyson set up right to the soft spot in the middle of the zone, right over the center, and Manuela's put it on the money.
That was almost a perfect pocket for Capono to be able to deliver that. I mean, Lone Peak has been showing to bring a little bit of pressure here, but so far we've only had a couple stops. Nothing of negative yards that Lone Peak can look towards as something that...
No, they stoned Prince on one run, but otherwise it's been positive yardage. A little split zone here.
Nice handoff up the middle, and there goes Prince! American Fork looks to score early, and Prince walks it for 6. Cavemen on the board.
What a great job that time by the American Fork offensive line. It was a split zone, so they blocked everybody to the right, kicked out the defensive end on the left side with the ram block, and Prince hit the hole. There was nobody in the middle of the field. He was gone.
That is just the start you wanted if you're a Cavemen fan right there. Prince Offu showing you why he's a top 20 running back in Utah right there on the opening drive. Huge explosive play for 6.
And a good job knocking 4 minutes off the clock right off the bat. They did everything they wanted right there. They maybe scored a little quicker than they would expect, I suppose, but nothing wrong with starting off 7-zip on your crosstown rival.
PAT by Worthington is up and in. A reminder, our game is brought to you by Kessler Allaire. For a range of reasons, call Kessler Allaire Insurance Services, as well as National Auto Plaza, where you can find the best deals on the best cars, trucks, and SUVs with our legendary $3,500 rebate. Also brought to you by PKJ Design Group. PKJ Design Group, landscape architects and planners, quality, innovative, and environmental design. And Reef Capital, expect the best. So that's the start if you want it, if you're the American Fork offense. Now you've got a big test with this Lone Peak offense that has some star-studded talent, especially going to multiple P4 programs at the collegiate level where they've already committed. I think, obviously, the passing game is going to run through the two Pula twins and a good quarterback, as you mentioned in the pregame, with Cruz Christensen.
Yeah, take care of the ball. Just feed the studs. You've got two guys that are next-level talent, and they've done a good job so far getting those two the ball. There's not a lot outside of those two guys as far as the receivers go, but boy, when you've got two weapons like that, it puts the defense in a real bind. So I expect that we'll see, just like you said, they'll come out, they got the wind behind them, they're probably going to throw the ball around pretty early.
So a perfect start here for American Fork as now they look to go on defense against the Knights. Here's the return, it's caught at the 2. Moving left, he's got great blockers. There goes Lone Peak, stealing the momentum. What a run! Already in Cavemen territory, and a great return that time by Isaac Fanua.
Really good concept there on their blocking scheme. He started out a little jab step to the right and then went left. They had a wall and a seam, and he hit it. I thought he was gone. The kicker did a nice job of stopping him from scoring.
Rarely do you see those special teams players make kind of plays like that, but nice job by Worthington. But Lone Peak already in prime field position at the American Fork 44-yard line. So that's where Christensen and company will start things off. Two receivers to his right, one to his left. 1st and 10 for the Knights. And timeout going to be called by Lone Peak, it looks like.
Not sure what they saw there, but it looked to me like the corner on that near side was coming in a blitz, and the safety had moved out wider to kind of cover the outside receiver. Well, that's scary, blitzing a corner when you've got one of the Pula twins on the outside.
Well, that's a perfect time to remind you of a couple more sponsors for our game. Brought to you by Johnston Law. It starts up front with a winning team. Johnston Law has been helping businesses succeed at every stage for over 15 years. Call or text today at 801-980-5300 and mention Lone Peak Wins. Also brought to you by Safe Streets. Enjoy the game with peace of mind. Your home is protected 24/7 with Safe Street Smart Security. Serving 46 states with the country's top 5-star rating. $150,000 5-star reviews in 3 years. Want home automation? Leave it to the nation's best. Safe Streets. Visit safestreets.com. So Lone Peak already uses their first time out before their first play on offense, and now they'll look to get things going. Christensen motions Pula. Now it's going to be a jet pass over to the right. He's got blockers and some room. And a nice run by Pula out to the 40 for a gain of 5.
Great way to get one of your best players the ball. Just an easy little flip toss and lead him with a couple of blockers out front. Good job on the outside. Man, any way you can get those guys the ball, you get them the ball. That was nice. Now, American Forks, it looks like almost a 3-3-5, but an odd front with the nose guard. So, and they're dropping coverage. So they're looking to stop the pass for sure with this scheme.
2nd and 5. Christensen gets the snap. He's going to roll out on a design play to his left. Goes deep for Pula, and it's intercepted by American Fork. Noah Bem goes the other way. Weaves past defenders. He's got a lane. Noah Bem all the way to the house. Pick six. American Fork striking early and now up 13.
It's so great to see kids step up in big moments like that. And he took it 95 yards. They were trying to get Pula on the backside post, and American Fork did a great job of staying deeper than the deepest receiver. He was able to come forward and make that pick. Only the second interception thrown by Christensen this year, but that's a big one. American Fork's got all sorts of momentum right now.
This is just about as good of a start you could ask for if you're the boys in red, as they now lead it by 2 scores with 7:30 to go, still in the first period. We'll take a timeout as we get ready for the next drive here on the Rewind Sports Network on KSLSports.com.
With affordable GLP-1 medication from Direct Meds, I've lost weight but gained lots of attention. From old college boyfriends, hi, to young college boys. Oh, honey. And my husband's obsessed.
She loves to make me jealous.
Well, as a woman over 50, losing weight was about as hard as getting my husband to cook anything but cereal.
Honey, where's the milk?
In your hand, babe.
Oh.
Visit directmeds.com today. Want to make out?
Sure.
Okay.
Welcome back out to American Fork High School, where we might be primed for a little bit of an upset here. I know it's a top 10 matchup, Dave, but the Cavemen put a nice explosive play on the board first with Prince Afu, and then just got about a 95-yard pick six with Noah Bem taking it all the way to the house. I mean, just a perfect start here for
a great way for the Cavemen to start. The exact opposite of what you want if you're Lone Peak. They just beat Corner Canyon and become. When they beat Corner Canyon, by the way, they're everybody's favorite team. But they're coming off of that. There might be a little hangover. And American Fork's taking advantage of the turnover and good play calling, good blocking up front. They're up. I like this.
There's a squib kick out to the 25. It's returnable. Ooh. Here comes Thayer out to the left and gets it out to about the 39. So another great starting field position here for Lone Peak.
I like that strategy. Keep it out of the hands of the deep guy. They almost had that same exact wall set up. He just missed the lane a little bit there. But hey, American Fork, they've got to make stops now. And if they could keep this momentum and somehow get a 3 and out or force another turnover, they'd be in prime position. And on the other side, I think you're going to see some run game from Lone Peak based on the defensive front that we're seeing from American Fork. I would expect it.
So
Lone Peak's going to run the ball a little
with
bit.
about 5 seconds to go on the play clock, here comes Cruz Christensen running in. He was late. Now he gets early motion, and the play starts. So conundrum early here for the Knights as they maybe get back to the line of scrimmage. They say they'll make it out to the 40-yard line for about a gain of a half yard, but Cruz Christensen seems to be confused right now with his helmet off again with the coaches.
Yeah, I've never seen that. He full-on dead sprint to the center, called the snap, made the play. American Fork did a nice job up front. We'll see if Lone Peak can slow things down a little bit, capture breath, and pick up the first down.
Stout, what you want to see, we mentioned only one interception for Cruz going into this game before, and now he just threw an early pick six. We'll see how he responds. Now it's 2nd and 9, ball on the 40 now. He gets the pass. He looks somewhat rattled, but he's going to sprint out of the pocket, dump off pass to the running back, Tate Barney, who makes it out to the 42-yard line. We'll set up a third medium.
Right before that play, Jaron Pula turned to Christensen and said, watch the blitz, watch the blitz. So I think Christensen thought that they were going to get the corner blitz and he was going to be able to turn around and throw that little 6-yard hitch, but then they pulled out of it and he had to pull it down. So another good defensive job that time by the Cavemen. 3rd and 7. First third down of the night for Lone Peak.
The crowd gets ready for a 3rd down stop. Here's Christensen looking to pass. Nice pass up the middle. There goes his tight end up the gut. And a beautiful reception leads them down to the 15-yard line. Cameron Ray, the junior tight end, gets things going for Lone Peak.
Really good job that time. I like the play call. They had 3 verticals, and essentially everybody's worried about the Pula twins, and so both safeties split, left that wide open in the middle, and a good job by Christensen delivering the ball. Sometimes you worry about your quarterback the next throw after an interception, and it didn't look like he thought twice about it there.
Beautiful response by the boys in white. Sets up a 1st and 10 at the 16-yard line. Christensen with Barney behind him. Gets the snap. It's going to be a handoff to Tate. Tate tries to bounce out to the left side, but he's stopped immediately. Great tackle that time by Ty Wilson.
Really good job that time by Wilson, beating his guy, winning the individual matchup. And a lot of times that's all it takes is you get one defensive lineman who wins like that, and the play goes nowhere. And at American Fork, they're running basically the 3-3-5 that you see Bronco Mendenhall run. And if you've got a nose guard that can get penetration and make plays, it's a great defense. And it looks like so far tonight, American Fork's nose
Second and
guard's doing
12
well.
for Christensen. He gets the snap. It's going to be a play-action pass. He was looking for Pula. Instead, he overshoots Ray on a wheel route on the right. It'll set up a third and long. Good play-action design. Just couldn't execute that time.
Yeah, he was a victim of the wind that time. He had his tight end out of the backfield. A really nice play design there. The ball just sailed on him a little bit. The wind's blowing hard enough that I would expect that was the reason that went over his head.
So far, Pula twins have not been involved so much. They've been targeted, but they haven't had any receptions. And we're under 5 here to go in the first quarter.
Well, American Fork, they're lining 5 up across 10, 15 yards deep, and they're daring Lone Peak to throw the ball short.
Christensen looking up the middle for Pula. It's caught. He'll catch it at the 9. It's Jared Pula, but that'll set up a 4th down. And let's see if they decide to go for it here.
That's kind of what American Fork wants them to do. Their defense is set up to, take 5 yards. If you want to take 5 yards, that's better than giving a big one up over the top of one of the Pula twins. So they're probably okay with that 5-yard gain now. We'll see what kind of defense we get on 4th and 5.
4th and 4. This is a pivotal play early here in the first.
Cover
that can
zero
swing
man.
momentum for either team. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the
Slant
right.
over.
Pula in isolation. Instead, he's going to go left. It's a slant up the middle. It's caught, and it's a touchdown to his brother. Kenneth Pula puts Lone Peak on the board for their first 6.
A nice combo route over there with a slant corner. Well, I thought he was going to come down to Jared on this side because he had man coverage and he was playing him off. I thought it was a same route down below, but he hit his brother up top. Really good route, really good throw, and Lone Peak right back in it.
What a response by the Knights here to quell what was massive momentum for American Fork, as we have a stoppage of play by the refs here.
Yeah, that big play to the tight end right down in the middle of the field. It's a fantastic call. They knew that those DBs were going to be flying wide to cover the Pula twins, and quarterback delivered and a nice throw to get it in the end zone.
Offside against American Fork, so this PAT will be half a yard shorter. But it would be interesting to see, going into this game, coming off of a massive win against Corner Canyon, how would Lone Peak respond against the game surely they were looking forward to and targeting? Would they have some bit of a hangover? And after a tough start at the beginning, going down 14-0, they now cut it to 7.
Yeah, good response by Lone Peak, and I would expect that. They're a good football team. They're well coached. Nobody was over there panicking. They said, look, we just need to go down and score, get a stop, and then it's a new ballgame. So big series here offensively for
A reminder that this game is brought to you by Skin Science, the presenting sponsor of Lone Peak football. Start your journey as an esthetician today. Visit www.skinscienceinstitute.com to schedule a tour and enroll now. Also brought to you by G2G Bars, helping busy people eat well when they're on the go. So American Fork, unbelievably, has only had the ball on 1 possession. It feels like 2, obviously, with a long pick 6, but so far they've done just about everything right on that side of the ball. They slowed the clock down. They tried to drain it. Pritzoff was able to take control through a ground and pound game. What do you want to see now from American Fork? You mentioned they might want to just keep draining the clock.
Same thing that we saw on that first drive where they ran the ball until they had to throw it. Then they converted on a big 3rd and 7. But otherwise, if your bigs can win up front, it makes your job as a play caller really easy, and I'm sure that's the game plan. So I would expect you're going to see some Afu and some more Afu, and then maybe a play action off of Afu.
So here comes the kick. It's a long one, and it'll go through the back of the end zone. We're seeing a couple of wind changes here early in the first quarter. We saw some kicks go short. That one goes long. That might be something to keep a watch of as this game progresses.
Yeah, I think the wind did affect one of Christensen's passes early in that first quarter, but I think they'll adjust to it. Once you've got a series or 2 under your belt, you have a pretty good idea what the ball's going to react in the wind like. And so I don't know that it'll be it might get a kicking game. It may play a factor for sure.
So here's Manuel and company. Two backfield players on his left and right, and two receivers, one to his right, one to his left. He'll get the snap. It's a handoff to Afu. It'll go to his left for a gain of just about 2 or 3. Goes out to the 23-yard.
Lone Peak loaded it up that time with 8, 4 down linemen, 4 linebackers right behind him, and left a 3-man shell in coverage. So Lone Peak's going to try and stop the run. They're going to try and force American Fork to throw it.
Same formation as last time, just a little bit more bunched. Now it's going to be a play action rollout to the right. Afu now with the reception as he makes it out to the 27-yard line. Will set up a 3rd and short.
Really good play call, but better defense that time. Lone Peak was ready for it. Closed on that, made a nice play.
So it'll be 3rd and 3, ball on their own 27. Looking to get their second 3rd down conversion of the game.
Yeah, that was a big 3rd down. We'll see. Lone Peak's going to load the box up.
Manuela gets the snap. It is going to be a handoff, and he's going to be short. Let's see where they mark him. He might be literally maybe 2 footballs short of that 1st down.
Well, I think American Fork's going to go for it. They're sending their big tight end back in. Maybe he's the punter.
And they say it is going to be 4th down, and it looks like they're going to send out the punt unit now. I mean, that is just about as close as you can get without not getting a 1st down.
Yeah, you're just too deep in your end zone to go for it. You can't take the chance because if something goes wrong, man, Lone Peak's right back in it. So they have to convert this. They're kicking this into the wind. I think it's important. In fact, they're probably calling timeout, and they're going to tell him, kick it away from him. They've already given up a couple of big returns on kickoffs, and so
they'll take a timeout, and we'll take a quick one with them. It's American Fork 14, Lone Peak 7. Welcome back out to American Fork High School, where the Cavemen currently lead it by a touchdown. They left it just about a football short here on 3rd down, so they'll punt it away from their own 30. Lone Peak now able to gain some momentum here on the road, and we've got a great crowd right now here at the home of the Cavemen.
Yeah, what a great scene. You know, driving over here, just the backdrop to all the high school stadiums here in the state of Utah is fantastic. And this rivalry's, they're next door neighbors.
American Fork is actually going to go for it. It's going to be a handoff, and he's got it and more. A beautiful handoff to the big man, number 65, Javian Na'a. And a 1st down here for American Fork out near the 40-yard line.
American Fork pulls out the old full house backfield, and they hand off to the dive. I love it.
So a change of plans. The coaches say, hey, maybe we need to think about this. I know we're deep in our own territory, but we got the bodies to do it. And big guy taking care of business right there.
Hey, they're calling this game. They're coaching this to win it. And they put the trust in their big guys up front to be able to pick up a yard. I like the mentality.
Single back is Afu. He'll get the handoff. Goes right up the gut, and he is just met by that defensive line. Great tackle by Cooper Stosich, the senior linebacker. I mean, he just absolutely plowed through number 10.
Yeah, really good job. And it looked to me like Afu was just waiting for a cutback lane, and then that lane shut quick.
2nd and 9, ball on the 42-yard line as we now reach under 90 seconds to go here in the opening period. American Fork still looking to drain this clock. Manuela's in the backfield in shotgun. Afu to his left, 3 receivers to his right, and 1 to his left. He gets the snap, looking to go left, and a nice out route. Caught that time by the sophomore wide receiver, Ty Holmstead.
Cover 3 coverage there, so the corner drops hard as soon as the ball snapped. A little 5-yard quick out. I like it when teams will take that when it's given to them. It's
sets up a 3rd and 4 now, as Manuel and company look to the sideline to get the play.
And I'm assuming this is a play call that they're planning on going for it on fourth if they don't get it here.
Manuela in shotgun, Afu to his left. Excuse me, it's actually Madden Jensen.
Oh.
And a nice pass out to Ty up the middle to Lone Peak's 40-yard line. So Olmsted now with back-to-back receptions.
Really nice job on that route. He pushed his route upfield hard. Broke it off in front of the defender. The defender was still in his back pedal. Quarterback Manuel's put it right on the money. And again, American Fork holding off they're waiting until under 20 to even send the play in. So they're milking this clock as much as they can. Good game plan. So far they've executed really well offensively.
All receivers to the left of Manuela. 1st and 10, ball on the 40. And it's going to be a handoff up the middle to Jensen. And he'll gain about 2 yards on the play. He'll set him up at the 38-yard line.
And I imagine they'll let the clock run out, American Fork, because they'll get the ball back in the second quarter with a win behind them.
So they might just drain this one out as we wait for the second quarter. And it looks like they're going to do that. What a start for American Fork here as they lead it 14-7 here on the Rewind Sports Network on KSLSports.com. We'll be back with second quarter action. Welcome back to American Fork High School. Beautiful backdrop we have. We're spoiled here in Utah High School football. And we're spoiled here with this game tonight. American Fork leading at 14-7 against the Knights of Lone Peak, the new #1 team in the state, top 25 nationally. Dave Thatcher alongside Dave Harrison reminding you this game is brought to you by doTERRA, a proud sponsor of Lone Peak football. doTERRA's products help athletes around the world maintain the highest level of health and wellness. Learn more about how you can help your health at wellnessgame at doTERRA.com. So it'll be 2nd and 8. Manuela gets the snap. Looking to go deep. He's got a man out there and just barely overshoots his receiver. Intended that time for Cash Tyesen.
You know, the American Fork running game's been strong enough and consistent enough that it's slowed down the front four of the Lone Peak Knights. I expected that Lone Peak would be able to get after the quarterback, but Manuela's had quite a bit of time that play to throw the ball.
So that'll set up a 3rd and 8. This will be a critical one for them to convert. 1 for 2 on the night, but they were able to get it close for a short 4th down. 2 receivers to the left, to the right, 1 to the left. It's a rollout to his right. He's going deep, and it is caught at the 16-yard line. This drive has been all Ty Homestead, and there's another one that gets him a 1st down near the 15.
Yeah, big catch there. Really good job. Manuel's just put it up where only his guy could get it out to the sideline, and he went up and made a fantastic play on the sideline. And now Lone Peak, they need to make a stop because the longer this goes on for American Fork hanging around, the more they believe it's going to happen.
Sets up a 1st and 10 at the 17-yard line. Reminder, our clock is unofficial. We'll try and keep it as close as possible. Here's Manuela looking to pass. Too early that time for his intended receiver, Christian Hanshaw.
Starting to get a little more comfortable with the pass. We've seen a few in a row. I like the idea of keeping the ball on the ground as often as you can, just to keep that clock running and keep that Lone Peak offense off the field.
So 2nd and 10, and after starting with that ground and pound, now we've got a little bit of an air raid here as they've entered Lone Peak territory. Capono in shotgun, Prince directly next to him to his right. And it's going to be a designed quarterback keeper on the right side. Capono's got a couple yards, but nothing more as he takes it out of bounds at the 15.
Leaves a 3rd and 8. We're seeing a cover 3 look from the corners for Lone Peak, which means, again, like we said earlier, they're dropping at the snap. Anytime I would see a cover 3 inside the 20, I would hit a bank post, a 4-step post route, or a slant in front of the quarter drop because you're close enough to the end zone. All you have to do is make one guy miss, and it's a touchdown. So we'll see if they go into a man coverage or if they stay in that cover 3 look.
Another 3rd and long here, 8 yards to get their next 1st down. Manuela looking to pass. He's got time to get pocket. Nice slant route, caught that time. by Christian Hanshaw, but he will be a few yards short of that first down marker.
Interested to see if they go for it on 4th and 2, if they take the field goal.
And it looks like they might be going for it. They're getting another call from the sideline here. This is risky business. A 4th and 3 at the Lone Peak 10-yard line. They converted their earlier one before, but that was about 4th and a football. This one they're going to have to design something as they are close to the end zone. Single back formation. Afu in the back. Manuela is going to play action rollout. He's got a receiver out there. Caught. Touchdown. Dyson Richards.
Really
and American Fork has put another 6 on the board.
Great job there by the offensive line. They held their own. They got the edge. Manuela's got outside. And the linebacker must have got hung up. I didn't see, but nobody came across with 9. It was wide open. Really nice play call. Again, they're coaching to win this game. They're not playing any conservative football for the American Fork. They're going for everything. And it's working out so far.
2 for 2 now on their offensive drives that have ended in touchdowns. This last one came with 2 4th down conversions. The PAT is up and in, and American Fork back up by 14 here on the Rewind Sports Network on KSLSports.com. We're back here at American Fork High School on the Rewind Sports Network. Reminding you, our game is brought to you by Kessler Allaire. For a range of reasons, call Kessler Allaire Insurance Services and National Auto Plaza, where you can find the best deals on the best cars, trucks, and SUVs with our legendary $3,500 rebate, as well as PKJ Design Group, landscape architects and planners, quality, innovative, and environmental design. So this might be an offensive shootout we've got here in Region 3. I mean, besides that pick 6, it's been all offense on both sides.
You know, I was really impressed with Olmsted. Olmsted on that drive, I mean, he won every route. Makes a big 3rd down catches. So American Fork can keep taking care of the ball, converting on 3rd down, and they don't turn the ball over. They're in good shape. So it'll be interesting to see if Lone Peak comes out throwing it, if they try and pound it. I imagine you're going to see the Twins involved.
So Lone Peak will begin things at their own 20-yard line, coming off of a touchdown led by Cruz Christensen after he started with that early interception. He looked very well composed on their last drive, leading the Knights straight down the field with some explosive plays. Let's see how they do here on their 3rd attempt. Early motion by Pula. It's going to be a fake. Now it's a handoff up the right side. A good run that'll gain a couple of yards by Isaac Panua, the senior running back.
Good job stringing that out by American Fork. Just kind of a little counter action. They brought the guard around, handed the ball off behind him, but American Fork did a good job up front.
Second and 8, ball on the 22-yard line. Shotgun for Christensen. He'll take the snap. Looking to pass a quick one. Instead, he's got Pula out on the right side and out of bounds for a 1st down. Nice job that time by Kenan Pula to get 15.
Christensen did a good job that time with his eyes. He wanted that corner to bite forward on the back out of the backfield. So he turned his shoulders, gave a little hitch, corner bit. He was able to get Pula behind him. Good job that time by Christensen.
1st and 10 now, ball at the 35. It's all been Kenan Pula here early on. He's got a touchdown and a couple of receptions here. Christensen looking to pass. Oh, throws in a double coverage there, and it's going to be incomplete that time. The intended receiver was his tight end, Cameron Ray.
That time you had 5 guys in the box. Kind of the same thing we saw last week with Olympus and Alta. Olympus just kept dropping everybody back, and Alta kept throwing into it. And so we'll see if Lone Peak either tries to take the top off, go over the top a little bit, or if they commit to the run game a little bit with a 5-man defensive box here.
2nd and 10 after the incomplete pass. Christensen A delayed handoff up the right side. Fanua with some room. He's going to be close to a first down. He'll set up a 3rd and short. Nice run that time by Isaac Fanua.
Yeah, really good job. Got outside, hit the hole quick. Good job up front for Lone Peak there. I like the run game for Lone Peak, especially with what we're seeing. You know, American Fork, they're going to drop back and they're going to try and stop the Pula twins because they're the most dangerous players on the Lone Peak side. So we'll see if Lone Peak goes to that ground game a little bit more here this last part of this quarter.
3rd and 1. Christensen in the backfield. Another early motion, this time by the tight end. Running back's got room in, wheels. Great run that time by Tate Barney as he goes up the middle and puts a couple defenders on skates while he's at it. Actually,
Sean Tahi, yeah?
Might have that wrong. It looks to be Sean Tahi on the run.
And again, against a 3-3-5 defense, that a lot of times it's easy to get the edge. And even though that was an inside zone run, he bounced it outside because the forced defender, the guy who has outside contained, was 8 yards off the ball.
1st and 10 now as they're in American Fork territory. Christensen looking to go deep and just overthrows his tight end that time. He'll set up a 2nd and 10.
Yeah, there were some intermediate holes in that defense that time. You had 5 defenders deep, and then a big hole between the linebackers. I wouldn't be surprised to see Lone Peak come back, look for a little 10 or 12-yard dig route in front of that safety coverage.
So we've been talking a lot about Kenan Pula. His twin brother Jaron averages over 100 yards in receiving a game, and he has yet to catch a pass here, and we're just about midway here in the 2nd quarter. Here's a handoff, it's delayed. Here's Tahi again, gets out to the 35 and more. Sean Tahi with some good runs here on this drive.
That's the answer for Lone Peak right there. Hand the ball off, let Tahi run, let the big guys eat, force American Fork out of this defense, force them to come forward, play the line of scrimmage a little bit more and open up those guys on the outside. But if you could, if you can pick up 7-8 yards every time you run the ball, that's pretty good offense.
So it'll be a 3rd and 3, ball on the 34-yard line of American Fork. Once again, Jaron Pula in isolation. Man coverage on that far side. Tahi's going to motion out to the slot. Here's Christensen. Going deep, he's pressured. Rolls out, escapes. Dumps it off to Kenan. Kenan, stops short. He could have gotten the first down marker, but he stopped. And that'll set up a 4th and short.
So that was set up to be a tunnel screen left side to Kenan Pula. And he came all the way across, and he just didn't have time to wait for him to get there. I'm surprised that Lone Peak didn't get called for illegal man downfield because they had a lineman that was about 9 yards. He was down about the 25-yard line, didn't get called for it. So big 4th down here for Lone Peak.
4th and 3. So far the biggest play of the game here. The Knights need it.
I'd go up top to my best guy.
Home crowd gets loud. Here's Christensen looking to pass. Has tons of time. Goes on his wheel route, and it's caught by Tahi amidst the defenders. A critical first down, but we've got a late flag in the backfield.
What an athlete.
Let's see what the call is here. It was away from the play on the far side, flag thrown near the 10-yard line, but it looks like Lone Peak's backing up.
Yeah, and I don't know. I didn't see what happened. It came from all the way in the end zone, that flag. What a fantastic catch by Tahi. It looked like it was a scramble drill. There were 2 offensive guys in the same place. Tahi ended up coming up with it, but none of that matters. That ball's coming back, so they're going to replay 4th down.
So it's offensive pass interference, and now you have to punt because you're at midfield, and it's not 4th and 3 anymore. It's almost 4th and 20.
Yeah, no doubt you've got to punt this. Now, American Fork needs to make sure they possess the ball here, right? A lot of times you're punting in when the wind's into the punt, that ball will knuckle in the air, and it's sometimes tough to catch.
Damian Wilkinson sent back to receive this one. at his own 10-yard line. The punt is away, almost balked. It's a low one. It lands near the 21-yard line, and it'll stop at the 19. So nice recovery that time by Lone Peak, but tough to see on a penalty on a critical 4th down where you turn the ball over and it allows American Fork to keep doing what they're doing on offense.
Yeah, really. But, you know, it's part of the game. If you're 20 yards downfield all by yourself for the DB, and I didn't see what happened, but you got to be smart. Right? There may be a little bit of frustration. American Fork's done a really good job of limiting what the Bullet Twins have been able to do so far, and Lone Peak in general in the pass game. Outside of the tight end, really, Lone Peak hasn't had anybody open.
So here comes American Fork, led by Capono Manuela to try and get another touchdown on the board.
Oh.
Hand off to Prince Offu. He had an explosive play earlier, but he's not able to escape a tackle there at the 22-yard line. Nice wrap-up that time by Tony Grimmer, who has over 10 tackles a game now.
That's a big-time play right there because American Fork pulled both guard and tackle and down-blocked everybody. And it looked to me when the play started to develop, he had all sorts of room to run. Great job defensively there for Lone Peak.
2nd and 8 for American Fork. As a reminder, our game is brought to you by Reef Capital. Expect the best. Motion now by Richards. Manuela fakes the snap count, trying to get Lone Peak off sides, but now play clock under 5. They're going to have to get something going here. 3 receivers to his left, 1 to his right. It's going to be a handoff to Offu up the middle, and he's stopped once again by that defensive line. Makes it out to about the 25-yard line.
Good patience by American Fork. They're not pushing it. They're not rushing things. They're happy to take a couple, 3-4 yards on a run play. We'll see what Lone Peak does. They've started to bring their corners up a little bit, so American Fork's receivers aren't running free. We'll see what we get technique-wise here. Looks like they're press man down here below.
This would be a big stop for the Knights here as Richards moves out to the wide spot. Manuela looking for one-on-one action with Ty Homestead, but he overshoots his receiver near the 50-yard line, so a nice stop that time by the Knights to make up for that penalty they got on offense. Look at the ball back right here.
Yeah, good job defensively there. I like that press coverage. I like what American Fork did. They recognized they saw man coverage, no safety over the top. Let's go try and steal one. But Lone Peak did a fantastic job defending that pass, forcing the punt.
Isaac Fanua set back to receive this punt. Had a great kick return early in the first quarter. We'll see what he can set up right here as he's lined up at his own 20. Oh, and a great boot that time. Makes it out to about the 27-yard line. Here's Fanua. Gets around some defenders and makes it out to the 39-yard line, and that's where Lone Peak will start their business for another go-around here, led by Cruz Christensen.
Really good punt that time. American Fork needed to get as much yardage out of that as they could to force Lone Peak back. Lone Peak's really moved the ball pretty well. That penalty on the last drive and the turnover on the first drive really what stopped it. So Lone Peak just needs to be patient. Take what American Fork's giving them. It looks like American Fork's still dropping everybody into coverage. See if they're patient and take those 4 or 5 yards in the run game.
1st and 10, ball at the 38-yard line. 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right.
Oh.
And we've got a flag on the play.
I think it's on Lone Peak. Moved early.
Looks like it's going to be a delay of game against the defense. So that'll be a 5-yard penalty against American Fork. Sets up a 1st and 5. Wow, interesting.
Makes it even easier to run the ball on 1st and 5.
So now they'll spread things out a little bit more. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right, tight end near the offensive line. Christensen's going to fake it. He's going to keep it on the right side. But a nice read that time by American Fork's defense as he maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage.
They ran quarterback counter there. They faked the power left. Quarterback followed his guard and tackle. And again, American Fork just doing a fantastic job up front. And the corner on the far side, I couldn't tell what number he was. Jackson Theobald, yeah, he did a great job. He came up, played that run hard.
Sets up a 2nd and 5.
Yeah, 3 might be susceptible to play action after coming up that hard.
Play action pass, just like you mentioned, looking to go deep.
Oh.
Pula caught up with his defender, and flags fly there as they're going to call a defensive pass interference.
Yeah.
Jared Pula was just caught up with his defender on that one.
Well, yeah, he was running by him, and he grabbed it because he probably would have scored. But yeah, you see a corner like that fights really hard on the run. It comes up, plays the run really hard. You do just a little play action, a stutter move by the receiver, and he released to the outside. Really good call. Coach saw what we saw.
So now 2 flags for American Fork on this drive. Sets Lone Peak in prime territory now at the Cavemen 42-yard line. So the Knights looking to get things going, but right now it's actually the penalties kind of helping to move this ball down the field, and they're okay with that.
Yeah, a couple here on American Fork. American Fork needs to. They're playing this to keep everything in front of them.
1st and 10 for Christensen and company. Takes the snap, looking to go deep once again. He's pressured. He's got room up the middle and dashes to the 35-yard line. And we've got another flag as a late hit. Cavemen gets the quarterback. Looked like he might have been trying to avoid him. He might have hit him with that leg. But still, that contact's going to garner a flag.
Yeah, you just never know when a quarterback is going to slide or if the quarterback's going to run. And so as a defender, you're coming as hard as you can until the very last second when he slid. You know, that's pretty savvy play by Christensen.
And American Fork players are actually pointing in the opposite direction as the referees converge near where Cruz slid down. Let's see.
They might be wiping it off.
Block in the back against the offense. So just as we mentioned, penalty set up Lone Peak. They set themselves back with a block in the back. That brings them back out to the 45-yard line. Potentially more. Let's see where they actually mark where the penalty happened.
You kind of sense a growing frustration. Lone Peak wants to get the ball to the Pula boys, and neither of them have been open over the top. And they're really good at getting the ball down the sideline, post routes, and American Fork's just playing so deep that they can't get over the top. So there's a little frustration, it feels like.
So 1st down for Christensen near the 50. He's pressured. We've got another flag. Looks to be a hold as he just throws it away. So we've got a lot of luxury right now here on back-to-back plays.
Yeah, just a designed rollout, and Lone Peak unable to get their feet out in front, get their shoulder pads out in front. Instead had to reach out and grab it. You know, as hard as American Fork is dropping defensively, you know, a little receiver screen out wide to one of the Pula brothers, let them get the ball in space and run, because they're giving them 10 yards before there's any defense.
We near the 4-minute mark here in the 2nd quarter, and Lone Peak just looking to get some semblance of a rhythm on offense. Kenan Pula with a couple receptions and a touchdown, but his brother Jaron still yet to have a catch here in this game where he averages over 100. Christensen looking to go deep now, will drop it off to Barney. Barney's got room. Makes a man miss at the 50. Oh, but a great wrap-up that time by Corbin Bowerly, the senior safety who's the team leader in tackles.
Good job defensively that time. Good read by Christensen. Everybody dropped again, as we were talking about. Nobody was on. Running back checks it down to him. It felt like he was going to get more yardage right when we picked it up. And again, a good job by American Fork coming up, keeping the ball in front of you.
Can't believe I'm saying this, but that play set up a 2nd and 18 now, as they have just set themselves back to penalties.
See, they're giving you 10 yards. You throw it out there, take the 10 yards. Now you're a 3rd man here.
Christensen looking to air it out again, and it's bobbled and almost intercepted that time. Seth Woolley was the intended receiver that time. Almost intercepted by Corbin Bowerly, who just made that wonderful tackle the play before.
Oh, he had nothing but green grass in front of him. He was gone. If he comes up with that ball, he is gone. Oh.
So now it's 3rd and 18. And penalties have just derailed this once promising drive for Lone Peak. As Cruz is coming in late once again, we're seeing some delayed play calling. And they're going to set up here.
If it's me, I'm throwing it up, trying to get past interference. Put it up for one of your guys. Throw it up there, let him go get it.
Christensen by himself. He's got a good pocket. Looks to go deep, but finds nobody in between two defenders. And just confusion all around here for this Knight squad as they move to 4th down.
Just no rhythm. They haven't found any rhythm. They're so used to being able to get those yards from those big guys on the outside that this is taking them out of their comfort zone. And American Fork, you got to hand it to their coaching staff. They've done a good job of forcing Lone Peak away from their strength.
So here's Wilkinson set back to receive. It's a low punt, moving out to the right, and Wilkinson's going to let it bounce. And it looked like it might have touched a foot, but they're going to say it's down.
That was a fantastic punt.
And
for
so
them to be
Fork
backed
start
up
the
to
11.
where they were, into the wind, he hit a nice, hard, low kick, and it rolled out. So hats off to the punter there for Lone Peak. They did a good job forcing American Fork to go the length of the field.
A reminder, this game is brought to you by Johnston Law. It starts up front with the winning team. Johnston Law has been helping businesses succeed at every stage for over 15 years. Call or text today at 801-980-5300 and mention Lone Peak wins. So 1st and 10, ball at the 12-yard line, as it'll be a 3-minute drill here for the Cavemen. Early motion by the tight end. Roll out here by Manuela. He's going to be wrapped up. Ball's loose! Lone Peak in the end zone, still loose. Let's see who comes up with it. The Knights do, and what a play! Lone Peak strikes back with a massive defensive effort as they come back within 8.
What a huge play. Lone Peak needed something good to happen, and everything had gone right so far for American Fork. But that time, Lone Peak's defense steps up. Huge strip sack right there.
Hard to see who fell on the ball as it was just a massive pileup. But what a play by the Lone Peak defense, especially when their offense was struggling to keep themselves in this one. PAT is up and in, and we're back to having ourselves a ball game. 21-14, American Fork here with 2.5 minutes to go in the first half. Back here at American Fork High School, where we're coming off of a massive defensive touchdown for Lone Peak, especially when their offense needed it. And that is just a mistake you could not afford if you're American Fork. It seemed like everything was going their way up until that massive turn of events. So this will be a huge response from Capono and company here with 2:44 to go.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see if it took the air out of the sails for American Fork, that everything had gone so well for them until that moment. That's a strong kick into the wind to get it into the end zone. So American Fork's going to start on their own 20.
This will be a huge drive. As we remind you, this game is brought to you by Safe Streets. Enjoy the game with peace of mind. Your home is protected 24/7 with Safe Streets Smart Security, serving 46 states with the country's top 5-star rating, 150,000 5-star reviews in 3 years. One home automation, leave it to the nation's best. Safe Streets. Visit safestreets.com. So this will be not only a comeback for the offense, but what can Capono do to shake off that fumble that really lies on him just not possessing the ball safely as he was rolling out?
Yeah, I think run the ball. Run the ball, see if you pick up some yards, and then maybe start thinking about your 2-minute offense. Because if I'm a Lone Peak coach right now, I'm thinking I want the ball back before the end of the half, and let's tie this game up. So American Fork's got to make sure that they don't give Lone Peak the ball back with too much time.
QB keeper on a read option sets up a 2nd and 5 now as we near the 2-minute mark. There's no 2-minute warning here in the high school ranks of this contest here in the first half. Bunch formation here on the right side. Manuela gets the snap. It's going to be a quick pass. Ty's got it out to the 30. Makes some defenders miss and gets out to the 34-yard line for a first down.
Clock stops on the first down, so American Fork should get up on the ball, be ready.
Nice play by Homestead. He's been the receiver to look to here in this first half for American Fork.
Yeah, he's really been their go-to guy tonight. Apparently he's got a really good fastball. Goes at about 95. He's a sophomore, came over from Mountain Ridge to play baseball here.
So 1st and 10, another quick pass. It's a middle screen. It's not going to go anywhere as there was some hesitancy by the offense. Receiver that time, Dyson Richards.
I thought Lone Peak could call timeout right there, trying to stop the clock and get the ball back. But
So 2nd and 8. Manuela now a designed rollout to the right. Finds his tight end. It's caught near the 39-yard line. The clock is still going to be running here. And American Fork will call a timeout.
so after that strip sack for the touchdown, they've thrown a couple of quick screens to the outside, rolled them out, a little dump-off pass, and they've kind of pulled back a little bit on pushing the ball downfield. But, still 3rd down, clock stopped. Lone Peak gets a stop here. They call timeout. They'll still get the ball back with probably enough time to get down the field. As talented as these guys are offensively, and especially, you get one guy in the middle of the field breaks a tackle or two, they can really move the ball quick. So American Fork wants to try and run time, I would think, here if they can't get this first down.
A reminder, this game is brought to you by Skin Science, the presenting sponsor of Lone Peak Football. Start your journey as an esthetician today. Visit www.skinscienceinstitute.com to schedule a tour and enroll now. Also brought to you by G2G Bars, fresh, healthy, and delicious. When you eat one, you'll know.
Looks like
So
they've got
3rd
the
and 5 here.
run personnel in for American Fork. Wouldn't be surprised to see him just keep the ball on the ground and try and burst the clock.
We've seen this triple threat formation in the backfield as Manuela's looking to pass. He's got Homestead out there. It's caught at the 41-yard line. And we have flags on the play as it might be thrown against the defense.
Well, that's Kitapula out there playing safety, and he came up and lit Homestead up, but held on to the ball. And again, you get that corner dropping. Runs a little post route right in front of him. He puts the ball on the line. That's a really nice throw and catch for American Fork. And now they're thinking about getting in the end zone again.
So that's going to help the Cavemen move near the red zone as American Fork looks to capitalize and go back up by 2 scores.
Yeah, you go from thinking don't let them have any time left to, hey, let's go score. So just under a minute, American Fork looking to try and get in the end zone.
Now under a minute to go, 1st and 10. Ball now at the 26-yard line of Lone Peak. Bunch formation to the left side. Manuel is pressured. Somehow spin moves his way out of the pocket. He's got an open lane on the left side. And he goes out of bounds near the 17. Great play that time by Capoto Manuela.
Yeah, that's just being an athlete right there. He felt the pressure, stepped up, and outran the defense. Holy cow, what a play.
That will set up a 2nd and 2 now at the 18-yard line. Just about 37.5 seconds left to go.
And again, anytime you get the ball inside about the 20, and you've got corners that are dropping hard into coverage, you could run a post or a slant right in front of them. It's tough for them to defend that.
Manuela looking to pass. Nice catch. Out of bounds near the 5-yard line. Christian Hanshaw gets it in inside the 10 for a 1st and goal. American Fork now with plenty of time to set up, if needed, 3 or 4 plays.
Nice little stem route there. The first guy had a quick 3-yard out. Second guy runs about a 12-yard out. Ball's on time. Good throw.
Timeout, Lone Peak. We'll take it with them. as American Fork on the door, ready to score again.
The Tab Spend checking account, you earn big rewards. It's hard to not make a scene.
Cash or card?
Oh, my card's right here.
That's a big card.
You should see how much it's earned me. Sorry, Grandma. Tab Spend isn't just another checking account. It's packed with benefits.
How do I get one?
Just scan this QR code or go to tabbank.com. It's all online and super easy to get started.
Welcome back to American Fork High School. As we remind you, this game is brought to you by doTERRA, a proud sponsor of Lone Peak football. doTERRA's products help athletes around the world maintain the highest level of health and wellness. Learn more about how you can up your health and wellness game at doterra.com. So first and goal here from the 5. You have 33 seconds left. What do you want to do here if you're American Fork? Because obviously you don't want to risk running it, but I mean, you have options here inside the 5.
Yeah, and I'm not sure what the timeout situation is, but, you know, I always like going to the outside receiver up top. They've got him split away a little wider than I would typically do it. But I still think you can run the ball. You've got plenty of time.
Early motion by the slot.
Back out.
Nice reel route by Afu. Gets it out of bounds near the 2.
Yeah, good job. They recognized man-to-man coverage, which is what most teams play this close to the goal line. And it really is a tough ask for outside linebacker to get outside to the running back. And so Afu does a nice job, runs a little out route.
American Fork looking to send in some more big bodies here as they're at the 2-yard line looking to punch this one in. And they're going to go strong formation here. Try and get this ball in the end zone. They've got 3 offensive linemen in the backfield alongside Prince Afu, who gets in the end zone for a touchdown. American Fork putting all the stops out here. They now lead at 27-14.
Once again, we see the full house backfield, and they ran it weak side. Basically, it ends up as an overload. They just didn't have enough defenders on that side of the ball. Good play call by American Fork. Afu into the end zone again. Every week there's a game where you say, I didn't see this coming.
I mean, it's a top 10 matchup, but especially Lone Peak #1 coming off of a massive victory and games where they're scoring a lot of points, averaging almost 40 a game. I mean, this is just very different than, like you said, what we were expecting.
Well, a lot of good things happen when you care so much. You're playing your crosstown rival and you want to win this. These are your neighbors. Rivalry, you can throw out the record a lot of times. That seems to be the case here. And American Fork's done a good job schematically. They've done a good job defensively keeping Lone Peak uncomfortable, and offensively they've controlled the line of scrimmage and they've controlled the clock. And we knew that's what they needed to do to have a chance to win tonight. And they've done that really well.
So Lone Peak will have about 25 seconds left, and they're going to receive the ball to open up the second half. So if you're coaching, are you trying to be conservative here, just get us into halftime, or you might want to try and get some points on the board?
Well, it depends on how many timeouts you have. But 25 seconds into the wind, you have been kind of out of sorts offensively. I wouldn't be surprised to see him run it once and let the clock run out. But I have been known in my day to try and score with 25 seconds left in the half. So I wouldn't be surprised they might take a shot or two.
Ball is kicked into the wind. It will be out of the back of the end zone. So Lone Peak will be at their own 20-yard line to start things off. I mean, this is, besides the fumble and the scoop and score, this is just about as perfect of a first half as you could ask for American Fork.
Yeah, really executed well on both sides of the balls. Kids are making plays. A lot of, you've had some defensive linemen win one-on-one matchups when the numbers weren't necessarily in American Fork's favor to stop the run, but one guy beats his block and makes a play. And so individual wins have
And it looks like they're just going to run out the clock here with a QB kneel. And that will take us into halftime, where it has been, for about 75% of this first half, all Cavemen. This would be a massive upset, as Lone Peak themselves just overtook the #1 spot in the state from Porter Canyon last week as they dominated the Chargers. But American Fork dominating the evening tonight here on their home field. We'll be back with second half action here on the Rewind Sports Network on KSLSports.com.
At Skin Science Institute, we offer top-tier educational experience in aesthetics, including the finest facility, the most comprehensive curriculum, and a team of highly experienced professionals. We take pride in our fun and exciting culture to give our students a positive learning environment while training on the best machinery the industry has to offer. We ensure our graduates not only receive the best education, but also step into their careers with confidence thanks to our robust job placement support. Start your journey as an esthetician today. Our monthly start dates and financial aid opportunities make it easy to jump in. Visit our website at www.skinscienceinstitute.com to schedule a tour and enroll now.
Hello everyone, and welcome out for second half action between number 10 American Fork and number 1 Lone Peak, where the Knights currently trail the Cavemen 28-14 after an action-packed first half here on the Rewind Sports Network. Dave Thatcher alongside Dave Harrison. And Dave, what did you notice more from that first half? Was it Lone Peak's deficiencies on offense, or more on what the Cavemen were able to capitalize on both sides of the ball?
Well, it just felt to me that American Fork had a game plan, they stuck to it, and their kids executed their plays. It felt like maybe there was a little bit of a hangover with Lone Peak after beating Porter Canyon last week. And, you know, American Fork dropped their defense back, made them uncomfortable, trying to force them to run the ball, and I would expect we'll probably see a little bit of that, or a little change in their philosophy to try and figure out a way to get their best playmakers the ball, because they really didn't do it in that first half.
Besides a scoop and score, Capono, Manuel, and company were basically able to do whatever they wanted on offense. If you're the Lone Peak defensive coordinator, what's your goal? Because they were able to really do both things on the ground and things through the air. So what do you want to stop?
Well, I think that when Lone Peak got beat in the passing game, it was when they were dropping the corner off and they were taking that right underneath that outside corner dropping. So if I'm Lone Peak, I'm going to load the box up, I'm going to stop the run, and I'm going to man cover press with the receivers so that they don't get those clean releases that they got on that entire first half. Make it a little bit more uncomfortable for American Fork, as opposed to just sitting back and letting them take 4 or 5 yards at a time.
A reminder, our game is brought to you by Tiny Hero, a Utah nonprofit giving families hope and help when their baby is born with CDH. They provide support, grants, and a community standing with them every step of the way. Visit tinyhero.org to learn more. As well as Stroformance, a science-based speed and performance training system using state-of-the-art technology and data to train thousands of athletes, and a proud sponsor of the Lone Peak football team. So, Lone Peak offense has the chance to cut this thing to 7 at the beginning of the third. We mentioned that entire first half. I mean, American Fork was able to shut down Jaron Pula, their top receiver who averages over 100 a game and still has yet to record a reception.
And, you know, he's an over-the-top guy. He likes to run the ball deep. I think it's important for Lone Peak to get the ball out to these guys quick, let them make somebody miss.
Here's a handoff. That's met in the backfield. Great defense that time by the Cavemen as Sean Tahi wasn't able to go anywhere for the Knights. It's a loss of 4 on the first play.
Really good job again by the defensive backs from American Fork coming up and making the play in the backfield as opposed to waiting back for a blocker and for the play to come to them. And American Fork did a good job stringing that out, gave their DBs time to come up and make a play. And we've seen him make some plays on the outside already at corner in the run game.
2nd and 14, ball at their own 16-yard line. Christensen gets the snap, looking to go right, and I mean, Poole is just not even moving at all, and it's going to set up a 3rd and long.
You know, they're in a double tight look there. Lone Peak was. Tight end right, tight end left. The Pula brothers on the outside on either side, and they're trying to find those 5 yards. They were hoping that they were going to get a corner dropping hard. He sat, and there was really nowhere to throw that 6-yard hit. So 3rd and long. See if they can't push one upfield a little bit here.
Huge play here at the beginning of the second half. Extra pressure coming from that line. Christensen has to roll out to his right. Somehow weaves his way past a couple of defenders, but a nice wrap up at the 20-yard line by Jackson Theobald will force Lone Peak to punt.
And again, Lone Peak, or American Fork is winning the battle up front. They're doing a great job of doing their job. It's kind of sounds redundant, but if you do your job and everybody else does their job, you win a lot of football games. So good start for American Fork defensively here in the second half.
Wilkinson back to receive near midfield at the 50. Catches it at the 42. He's going to roll out to his right. And he's tackled at the 47-yard line. So that's where Manuel and company will take over an excellent field position to start things off. And it's actually been the sophomore wide receiver Ty Holmstead who's actually been able to get them going through the air. So Manuel has had a couple targets, but he's really like number 85 tonight.
And you always need somebody else to step up, because the defense they're gonna focus on Offrey trying to stop him, and they're gonna try and stop some of the other receivers. But Holmstead, he's stepped up and played a really fantastic game. We'll see. We see much difference. We got a 4-man line, so an even front from Lone Peak this time. 4-3 defense. They're loaded up to stop the run game.
Here's a handoff up the middle to Prince Afu for a gain of 2, but nothing more. Prince had that explosive run in the first quarter. Besides that, it's been relatively quiet, but he was able to catch a few good passes in the flat as a check down option. He's been very active.
Well, the beauty of somebody like him is that he'll pick up 4 yards or 5 yards just about every time he touches the ball, and he's always following forward. So even though it doesn't feel like he's done a whole ton, he's really carried that offense and gave them that stability in the run game.
So 2nd and 8. Ball in Lone Peak territory at the 48-yard line. Manuela gets the snap and shotgun, looking for a quick pass on the out route. It's caught. Nice catch that time by Dyson Richards as he goes out of bounds.
Little cover 2 beater there, just a streak on the outside, the 5-yard speed out from your slot receiver. That ball has to be thrown on time and in the right spot, because as close as Tele Afu, number 6 for Lone Peak, was playing that, if that ball's short, that's a pick 6. So good job executing there, getting a 3rd short.
3rd and 4. So this will be a critical conversion and a critical stop for Lone Peak if they can get it. Handoff to Prince up the middle. He goes straight through the line, plows his way near a 1st down marker, and it looks like they're going to give it to him. Great run that time by Prince.
Really good job staying committed to the run by American Fork. Lone Peak can come out the first couple of plays in that series in a 4-man front and had loaded the box to stop the run. On that 3rd down and 4, they dropped everybody off. They had 5 in the box, and American Fork stays with the run game. It works out for them that time. Good job.
You usually see most running backs afraid to go into that push with the line. They usually try and bounce it outside. Prince just says, no, I'm going to tackle that head on.
Yeah, he's a big kid. I was down there on the field before the game. He's a big boy.
Here's a fake to Jensen. Single receiver out to the near side is caught in man coverage. What a reception near the 15-yard line. Cash Tayese, a man who we usually call, gets his 2nd reception of the evening, and it's a big one.
A really good throw there by Morelos. And Lone Peak that time they came up. They said, okay, kind of what we talked about. Do I'm going to load the box, stop the run, press on the outside. Well, you've got to win that press, and you've got to get to the quarterback if you're going to load that box up. And he did a fantastic job of putting that out there where his guy could go get it. Back in a good spot for American Fork.
1st and 10 at the 15 after a big play by Cash. Here's a handoff up the middle. It's Madden Jensen, and he'll gain 1, but nothing more. So 2nd and 9.
I like this philosophy from Lone Peak defensively. I like that they're coming up, playing the run, and even though they just gave up, a 25-yard throw over the top, I still think that's the right answer for this. I think that's what they've got to do. They've got to force American Fork to make those big plays over the top and don't give up 6-7 yards to run the offense.
Now you got a truncated field with only 14 yards between them and the end zone, so that can help when you're playing up front and applying some pressure. Here's Capono. He'll get the snap, delayed handoff. Matt Jensen's just wrapped up in the backfield. What a play that time by the defensive line, led by Tony Grimmer.
Called his name a couple of times tonight. He's played pretty well. It starts to feel like there's a little bit more intensity on that Lone Peak side the last couple of plays up front.
Big stop upcoming here for Lone Peak if they want to try and stay in this one as they've already trailed by 2 scores.
They're playing coverage here.
3rd and 11, ball on the 16-yard line. Manuela looking to pass. He's got a pocket. Now he's pressured, and he will be brought down for a sack. Tackled that time by Kingston Stroshine, the freshman linebacker.
Yeah, he came from distance. They had him out over the number 3 receiver. And the last second before the ball was snapped, the safety rolled over, and he came hard. And even though he was picked up and he was blocked, he beat that block, and that pressure is what Lone Peak has needed to do all night. And now feels like there's a little bit more life.
So Jace Worthington for the field goal attempt. This will be a 37-yarder. It is up. And no good. They're going to say that he missed that one. So a stop by Lone Peak keeps this a 14-point game.
Yeah, that's a big break there for Lone Peak. They kind of bent a little bit. They got beat over the top. Fortunately for them, they were able to make the play, and then the defense stepped up big time on that red zone defense. And so we'll see. There's a little life on the Lone Peak sideline. We'll see if they come out. The first 3 plays they ran this half, they were in double tight, loaded the box, and they only ran it 1 time. I like them spreading the ball out and then running it.
Similar formation that we've seen all evening. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Christensen looking to go deep once again. There he finds Jaron Pula for his first reception of the evening for a gain of 7.
Yeah, and again, they're just sitting him down, trying to find a soft spot in the zone. American Fork doing a good job keeping everybody in front of him, but it's nice to see him get the ball, get a touch.
It looks like they're just trying to draw some plays to get him involved so they can involve those explosive plays we've seen so often from this LP squad.
American Fork's got a new corner on that top side.
2nd and 3, ball at the 27-yard line. Christensen, hands off. It's Shantahi moving to his left. He'll get out to about the 28-yard line is what they're saying, so maybe a gain of 1 sets up a 3rd and short.
It's a little outside zone run, and the philosophy there is you just run sideways until you can put your foot in the ground and get downfield. He just had nowhere to cut it up.
So another critical 3rd down here for Lone Peak. It's going to be a 3rd and 2. And you'd have to think potentially as well, if they don't get this, do they go for it like American Fork did in the first half? Christensen is shotgun looking for a quick pass. He's got it. Nice slant route. Caught that time by Thomas Herget, the senior wide receiver, as he makes it out to the 41-yard line.
Good conversion there on 3rd down. Good throw. Time was right. Hit him right in stride. A good route. Kept it. Again, you see the corner drop like that. Slant route's easy to take.
So the first down conversion of the second half here for Lone Peak. Sets them up at the 41-yard line.
Seen more short route combos this half from Lone Peak as opposed to.
Here's a delayed handoff going right in the flat. Tahi may be able to get back to the line of scrimmage. A great coverage that time by the 2nd unit moving up and getting those tackles.
American Fork's done a really good job of stringing it out. They haven't let Lone Peak get outside of them or get leverage on the outside, and it makes you almost wonder if you think they might pop a counter coming back the other way. Every time they've tried to go outside, there's been a ton of pursuit, so you either play action off of that or a counter which they have run their quarterback counter off of that same look.
So 2nd and 10. Here's Christensen looking to pass. Still looking, he's got time. It's caught. And it'll be down at the 47-yard line. Kenan Pula.
Little stick switch is what we used to call that, where you just basically run 10-yard curl routes, but you switch spots with your partner. So the slot runs 10 to the outside runs 10 over the slot, and you just find a hole. A good job. Again, Lone Peak starting to find some soft spots in that zone, and that intermediary zone about 9 to 14 yards. There's been some open spots out there.
Another huge 3rd down here. It's going to be a 3rd and short with 3 yards to go. And lots of movement by the defense. Before the snap went off, let's see if they triggered something on the offense or
I think
they're going to call this against American Fork.
88 for Lone Peak flinched.
And they're going to say it was a false start. So American Fork basically showed an all-out blitz. And that linebacker, once he came up, caused the offensive line to move early. No, they're going to say this is actually against American Fork.
Whoa.
They're going to say it's a delay of game.
So
that quick movement
what
goes
happens in that situation typically is you've got somebody on the defense that's mimicking a snap count. So the cadence, they're saying go, go, or whatever the cadence is that Lone Peak was using, likely somebody on the American Fork side at least was accused of saying it. They all have their hands up in the air.
So that'll set up a 1st down because of that penalty. 2nd one on the evening against American Fork in a situation like that, but that sets up the Knights in opponent territory. Here's Christensen looking to pass once again. It's a check down to Tahi. Plows his way through a couple defenders as he makes it out to the 45 for a gain of 2.
Yeah, those are 2 tough yards. American Fork did a nice job rallying forward.
Tahi, just a big body. He's able to take a lot of those hits and try and gain a couple more yards on those check down options. When you're looking for maybe a couple of yards, he's able to just kind of keep moving the sticks just a little.
Yeah, you want, typically when you get the ball to a back out of the backfield, you don't want him to set his feet. You want his feet to continue moving. So if he catches the ball and he keeps moving, I think he probably gets 4 or 5 yards there, but he set his feet, then came forward. He probably could have picked up a couple more yards if he kept his feet moving there.
Another drop back to pass. Beautiful slant caught by Pula. He's making some dazzling moves, but drops down at the 35-yard line for a 1st down. So Jared now getting involved here in the 2nd half, but I mean, Lone Peak's also draining this clock. They're taking back control. That's something we didn't see a lot of, especially in that 1st half.
Yeah, well, and they're forced to. Their quick strike offense, it's not there. They're dropping too many guys deep for those guys to get over the top, and so they've done a good job of hitting those 10 to 12-yard routes here on this drive.
1st and 10 now once again. Lone Peak putting together a solid drive here. Christensen, a play-action pass. Looking to pass, he's going deep. He's got a man out there. And just over the head of his receiver, Aisa Hafoka was just a little bit too far out, but that was a beautifully drawn-up play by the Knights. They just couldn't convert it.
Well, yeah, what they're doing is they're looking at the Pula twins on the outside, so both safeties are flying over the top. You've got both corners, and nobody looked at the post route. And I wish Christensen would have seen him a little bit sooner, and I'm sure they're going to look at it in film and say, look, as soon as he clears that linebacker, get him the ball. Because those safeties, they split like the party of the Red Sea.
So now it's a 2nd and 10 for Lone Peak after they failed to get a touchdown. That was open for them. Christensen, play action pass, looking for Pula once again. He's got it near a 1st down. Gain of 9 on the play. So they're really using those intermediate passes to just slowly march their way down this field.
Yeah, they've figured out what they're giving them, and they're taking it. Do a good job running a good hard route right in front of that defender, forcing the defender to backpedal.
Sets up once again another 3rd and short. I mean, they've really helped themselves out here on 3rd downs. It's been 5 or less for most of this drive.
Late substitution for American Fork. They look confused.
Christensen gets the pass. He was looking for a check down. I mean, he's got tons of time. Now he rolls out to his right after it breaks down. Throws it. It's caught. No, they're going to say it's out of bounds, intended that time for Tate Marney.
Yeah, he bobbled it. He had his feet in. He just didn't look like he controlled it.
So 4th down and 2, and Lone Peak's looking to go for it. And this one is critical with just a minute left to go in the 3rd quarter, still down by 14.
I like something off their outside zone, so fake the outside zone, let the quarterback run it downhill on a trap block or a rat block, something like that.
So here we go. A massive play for momentum and game implications. Christensen gets the snap. Finds a wide open receiver at the 21-yard line. Great catch that time by Seth Booley.
Clutch throw and catch right there for Lone Peak. They needed that. It would have been a tough blow if they would have marched the ball all the way down to the 20 and weren't able to convert. So big time 4th down conversion.
That sets up a 1st and 10 at the 22-yard line.
Now you're starting to get into the area where you can put the ball, just put it up in the corner of the end zone and let your guys go get it.
Now it will be a handoff going up the left side, but we're going to have a flag on the play. It might be a false start.
Not a lot of downhill runs from Lone Peak. A few earlier in the game, but everything seems to be going side to side. And this defensive line for American Fork has really done a fantastic job of stringing everything out.
And it's really been the opposite with American Fork. We mentioned that in their last drive. It seems like a lot of their running plays are up the gut, just using Prince to push through the line.
Yeah, they're doing a good job. A lot of split zone, so it kind of gives Prince a chance to find that gap or that seam in the defense. Outside zone, it's a little different, especially against the 3-3 stack that American Fork's running.
So 1st and 15 now after the penalty at the 27-yard line. Here's Christensen looking to pass. He will go deep, but it's not caught that time. Pula drops it near the 17-yard line.
That would have been an acrobatic catch there. It looked like he might have had a chance to get it, but pretty well covered on that outside for American Fork. And, you know, there's still some holes at 10, 12, 15 yards on the strong side. Now they're overloading to the boundary, which tells me, yeah, they've got an overload to that side. They've got numbers up top.
Most likely our last play here of the 3rd quarter. Christensen again all the time in the world, but he's pressured to just throw it in coverage. It's caught. Amidst a sea of defenders, looked like they were playing a game of 500. Nice catch that time. It looks to be Sean Tahi who brought that one down.
A little bit of a risky throw. But look, your guy went up and made the play, so it looks like it was a pretty good decision, and it brings up a 3rd and short. I mean, it was 2nd and long, 3rd and short now to start this 4th quarter.
We've got an exciting last 12 minutes coming up here on the Rewind Sports Network as Lone Peak looks to come back in dramatic fashion. We'll be right back. High School here on the Rewind Sports Network on KSLSports.com. Nate Thatcher alongside Dave Harrison as we get ready for what should be an exciting 4th quarter here between number 10, American Fork, and number 1, Lone Peak, looking to avoid their first upset as the number 1 team in the state. Dave, we saw a very, I guess you could say, wild throw there on 2nd down, sets up a 3rd and short. Obviously, this is 4th down territory from here on out. Are you still looking for them to use those intermediate throws, or maybe you try and air it out?
It depends on, I mean, we'll see what we get down here. A lot of times the defense will go into a cover 1 man, and that means that one of your outside guys typically is a good look. It looks like they're still going to sit back a little bit in coverage, and so.
And Lone Peak.
I think people were confused over the down and distance because they had it marked at 3 to 12, and now they've got it marked 3rd and 3.
So here we go.
Yeah, this is for sure 4-down territory. They look like they're going to just try and run downhill.
It's going to be a QB draw. Christensen's got room up the left side. Can he make it to the end zone? He can! Touchdown Cruz, and Lone Peak back in this one.
Hey, what a great play by Christensen. He did a good job. I love that. Lone Peak just lined up and said, we're going to run it right down your throat. And everybody from American Fork had to pinch to cut that lane off, and he bounced it and outran the defense. And so just like that, we're right back into it.
And for the first time tonight, really, this home crowd is stunned silent. PAT coming up to cut it to 7. It is up and through. So Lone Peak with an excellent start to this fourth quarter makes it a 28-21 ball game. Reminder, this game is brought to you by Tiny Hero, a Utah nonprofit giving families hope and help when their baby is born with CDH. They provide support, grants, and a community, standing with them every step of the way. Visit tinyhero.org to learn more. Also brought to you by Stroformance, a science-based speed and performance training system using state-of-the-art technology and data to train thousands of athletes, and is a proud sponsor of the Lone Peak football team. So American Fork has to respond in some way. I mean, they really drove down the field on that last drive, but they couldn't get the field goal to go through, and so that's what keeps it a one-score game. So do you try and drain the clock with that run game, or do you just keep playing this ball game?
Well, I think your philosophy coming into the game was ball control, run the clock, and I don't think anything changes here. I think it's important that they keep getting first down. Take a little bit of sail, wind out of the sails of Lone Peak. They've got a ton of momentum now. There's finally some energy on the far side of the field. Fans have something to cheer for, so big series here. I expect you're going to see some pressure at the line of scrimmage from Lone Peak defensively.
Ball kicked out of the end zone. So American Fork starts at their own 20 in their most important drive of the night to keep themselves in the lead and perhaps even extend it to put it out of reach for Lone Peak.
Yeah, Lone Peak has to make sure that Prince Afu doesn't take the ball game over right here. They've got to make, if he gets the ball early, don't let him get more than a yard or two, hit him hard, make sure that you control that line of scrimmage. Force American Fork to go to somebody other than Prince Afu at this point in the game.
So 1st and 10, ball at the 20. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Manuel in shotgun with Afu to his left. And he's going to keep it himself on a QB keeper off the read option. Still up. A ball maybe have come out. Let's see who has it. This is huge right here.
Big
and Manuel
came
able to
out,
come back up with it. Wow, that would have been huge.
Good stuff for Lone Peak there.
So they avoid a catastrophe that would have put Lone Peak in excellent field position. But it looks like Cavemen, that's a rough start. It's 2nd and 9, but almost a turnover. Manuel fakes the snap. Now he's going to call out to his offensive line. Now he gets it. He's looking to pass. He's got time, and he's almost intercepted that time. Great coverage on the near side. Gabe Harmon, the junior defensive back, almost came up with that one. So
it's a
back-to-back plays where it's almost a turnover.
Yeah, first time we've seen him throw the ball into a bad place. Right, he's missed a few throws, but he's missed them in a place where the defense can't get to it. This time he threw that ball a little bit inside. He gets lucky to get away with one there. Now you've got 3rd and long.
Big 3rd down here for the home squad, 3rd and 9. Tons of time left to go here in this 4th quarter. Manuel looking to pass, and it's tipped, almost intercepted, then almost caught by another Caveman. But that's a 3 and out now for American Fork, where almost all 3 plays ended in turnovers.
Just about every DB for Lone Peak had a chance at that one. That ball bounced around for a minute. American Fork had their tight end wide open in the flat, nobody close to him, but he chose to push it downfield. And a couple of poor throws that kind of killed the drive there for American Fork. So Lone Peak, a good job defensively, a chance to tie this game up.
So a deep punt by American Fork lands with an excellent bounce near the 40, and it'll pin the Knights back within their own 30. So a nice field position switch for the home squad. But last time Lone Peak able to use a lot of the time, train it out, move it down the field. Do you think they go quickly here, or they're just going to play their game?
Look, I think they figured it out. I think the offensive play calling for Lone Peak that last drive was excellent. They took what Lone Peak or what American Fork gave them. They took some of those intermediate, those 10-yard curls, those dig routes, a couple of slants. I mean, the things that are there, they're taking. See if American Fork starts to bring those safeties down at all. If they keep them deep. That slot on the top side's the one that's got the soft zone. Just about every play they've run.
Here's a play-action pass. Christensen going deep. A wide-open receiver. It's Seth Woolley near midfield. So now they're using some deep throws as they get in near midfield.
Yep, and he went into that soft spot over the slot receiver. He ran a little dig route at 10, 12 yards. And they've started to figure out where that hole is. We'll see if there's any adjustment from the American Fork defense.
Christensen on the move with his guys as the ball is at the 47-yard line. 1st and 10. The Knights starting to look like the #1 team we know them to be. Tahi up the middle. Somehow spins his way through every defender and might have gotten near a first down. He gained 9 on that. Unbelievable.
Yeah, fantastic run. He kept his legs moving. He kept driving hard. His offensive line, the key there is they stayed on their blocks, and it gave him a chance to spin out of the tackle and pick up 9 yards. So it's a good sign. Lone Peak running the ball downhill a little bit.
So a 2nd and 1, ball on the American Fork 46-yard line. Christensen, play action pass. Looking deep, he finds Jared Pula, who makes his way past the sea of defenders to the 35-yard line. So Lone Peak moving quickly.
Yeah, same route combo. Little 12-yard curl with the speed out behind it.
And Jaron Pula finally able to get things going here in this second half. And his brother, the Utah commits, very important to this night's offense.
Yeah, you know, they've run that play enough times now. They've got to be careful of an American Fork safety recognizing it and jumping that route.
Another shotgun pass. Christensen's pressure, and he's taken down by a flag. And let's see who they call this against, as Cruz just took an absolute hit. Looks to be a hold against the offense. Penalties declined, so it'll set up a 2nd and long.
That was Jamie Naa. He had a fantastic game against Timpview a few weeks back. And he just bull rushed right to the Lone Peak backfield. All these guys running on and off the field.
Reminder, our play clock is unofficial. We're going to try and keep it as close as possible here in this game. 2nd and 17. Christensen looking to pass, almost hit, but it's caught. Nice reception that time. Still looking to get dragged down, but out to the 30-yard line. Nice catch by Thomas Hergen.
A really good job there. Again, they're finding that soft spot on the strong side of the offensive formation over the #2 receiver. There's been a big hole there on this whole second half. Christensen does a good job of finding him. He was pretty well covered, but he put that ball right between the numbers. Nothing the defense could do about that.
So a gain of 12 on the play sets up a 3rd and 5.
I wouldn't mind seeing a little bit of run here. They've got a light run box.
And it's a linebacker blitz up the middle, which leaves a wide open receiver in the flat near the 25-yard line. Seth Woolley with the reception. And let's see where they mark it. Actually, we got a timeout. Woolley might be down.
First down for Lone Peak. Not sure who's down on the sideline.
Seth Woolley is slow to get up here after he caught that to make a first down here for the Knights. He's on his knees, he's kneeling. Because we're covered right now by the American Fork sideline, I can't see as to what's bothering him right now.
Lone Peak's done a good job offensively. This last couple of drives have really taken what is there American Fork hasn't really changed anything. They did bring an double A gap blitz between the linebackers on a little bit of twist action. The offensive line did a good job of picking that blitz up, and he was able to get the ball out, pick up the first down. Christensen, who's really gotten into a little bit of a groove after there's a couple of rough moments early in the game, but he's settled down and playing much better the second half.
So Woolley able to walk off under his own power, which is good to see. And we've seen, because the Pula twins have been so focused on for most of this game, a diversity of receptions by a lot of receivers for this Knight squad. They've been able to step up, especially in the second half, as they look to tie things here on this drive.
Yeah, they've done a good job. They've found a couple in the seam. Missed one down at this end. It would have been a touchdown when both safeties split, covered the outside receivers. But, they've sprinkled in some run game, done a pretty good job. But Christensen's really kind of taken it over here in this fourth quarter.
So here we go, 1st and 10, ball at the 25, with just under 8 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter. Early motion by the slot receiver. It's a handoff up the gut, and Tahi is met at the line of scrimmage. Great tackle that time.
Again.
By the defensive lineman, Javian Na'a.
Yeah, Na'a was a good football player. He made a ton of difference against Timpview for American Fork. Basically controlled the line of scrimmage by himself that game, and he's stepped up and had a couple of really nice plays. When American Fork sets up and they've got 5 guys in the box and you still can't run the ball against them, it's because you've got a guy like Na'a who refuses to be blocked solo. They've got to double team him to keep him off the quarterback or off the running back.
2nd and 10. Christensen now looking to pass. And a nice stop route. Oh, and it's heavily defended. And they're going to say it was caught for a first down.
Yeah, that ball came out late. That's another one of what we would call stick switch, where you just cross and then you sit in the soft spot in the zone. He was a little bit late with that throw. Fortunate that they were able to come up with a reception there.
Herget with another big catch sets up the Knights at the 13-yard line.
The depth of Lone Peak, the fact that their 2 best players have been taken out of the game essentially. Schematically, the fact they've been able to step up and make plays says a lot about the depth.
Tahi cuts it back up the middle. Gain of 5 on the play will set him up inside the 10.
Yeah, Lone Peak feels like they're in complete control of the ball game at this point. Even though they're down 7, it just feels like they've got it figured out. They know what to do offensively.
So now we're reaching the 6.5-minute mark. So if you're the American Fork offense, you'll still have some time after this drive, but their defense has to do some work here as they're backed up by their own end zone. Christensen by himself in the backfield, looking to pass. Now he's going to try and keep it himself. Oh, he's tripped up in the backfield. He'll maybe get back to the 8-yard line.
Nice play that time by the American Fork linebacker. Just kind of spied Christensen that time. The last time down the field, Christensen was able to scramble his way into the end zone. So a good job there defensively for American Fork. Big play here again. We're talking like it's a tie game, but Lone Peak still's got to get in the end zone.
3rd and 5, ball on the 8. Massive play here for the defense. It's a press. Christensen looking to pass, but we've got a timeout.
They had the look they wanted, man cover, no safety. They had their guy on the outside. He was open, touchdown with a slant route. They got the timeout before they could get the play away.
So 5:35 left to go here in the fourth quarter. We'll be back after this short ad break here on the Rewind Sports Network. We're back here at American Fork High School, in for a good one here in this final 5:35 of game action, as the number 1 Knights of Lone Peak look to tie things up as they trailed by 14 heading into this fourth quarter. It's a 3rd and 5, ball on the 8-yard line. This, of course, is 4th down territory, so it will be interesting to see what they set up here near the scoring
This is a run look here. They moved him across. They saw it was man coverage. They figured there's probably going to be a blitz, so he changes the protection.
Christensen looking to pass. He's got a slant, and it's intercepted. No, it's batted. It's batted. But we've got a flag on the play.
I think it's on American Fork. No, it must be against Lone Peak.
It looks like it's got to be against Lone Peak because they're going to the American Fork sideline to confer what they want to do.
So they're going to decline it, bring up 4th and 5. So Lone Peak's got to decide, do they take the 3 points and hope their defense can hold and they get a ball back and go down and score again, or they go try and win it right here with putting it all on this one here.
4th and 5, biggest play of the evening, and we are shaking up here in the press box.
I wouldn't be surprised to see the quarterback keep this.
Cruz looking to pass. He's got time. It's a fade route, and a flag's going to come out. That's a defensive pass interference.
Yeah, I mean,
and that is a huge break for Lone Peak.
You know, it's a good, it kind of forced the defense to either make a fantastic play or commit a penalty, because that route combo, a little out and up like Ty, that's a tough route to cover. Ball was put in the right spot,
So the key is pass interference is half the distance.
Pretty sure it's an automatic
It will still
first
be,
down.
I believe, 4th down, but it's going to be a 4th and inches. So now, do you risk it, just run it and go full on?
Pound it.
Yeah,
This is what we had last time they scored the touchdown on. They went double tight. This time they're spreading it out.
Christensen's going shotgun, and we've got a timeout by Lone Peak.
It's hard to see exactly how far they've got. It says 4th and 2.
The marker from our vantage point kind of looks like the 3, maybe a little bit before the 3-yard line.
Well,
And they've marked this directly at the 4-yard line. So I would say this is about 4th and a yard. It's close, maybe a little bit less. What we saw in the last scoring touchdown by Cruz, it was really a bunch formation, and he was able to just run past his line for a touchdown. You have to think that's why they call it timeout. Maybe they set that up.
Yeah, I like the look that they had last time. They just basically put all their bigs in straight across the line and ran straight downhill, and it was a designed run. He bounced it out of the end zone. I like that same look here.
So 5:24 on the game clock, and a 4th and 1. Ball on the 4-yard line. Knights have another go at this to see if they can convert and reach pay dirt. So here we go. There's that strong formation. It's a quarterback keeper, and he's got it. And it looks like they just gave it to him. Let's see where they spot this, but it looks like he got past that 3-yard line.
Yeah, it looked to me like he dove and had plenty of distance to get the first down. I love the play call.
Let's see this. They marked this.
Well, that's a stingy mark for Lone Peak.
They might have marked this. It looks to be literally right where we see this marker. They might bring out the chain gang.
Yeah, I thought he had it by a yard. I mean, it didn't look like anybody touched it until he was at least past it.
I mean, this is a critical spot here.
Yeah, that's a tough spot.
Let's see what we can see here. And they're going to say it's a turnover on downs. Unbelievable. Lone Peak turns it over at the 2-yard line, and that's where American Fork will take over.
Huge defensive stop on 4th and 1 by the American Fork defense. And now they've got a chance to win the football game. They're not out of the woods yet. Lone Peak can make a play defensively. We saw a strip sack for a touchdown earlier. So you got to believe that this Lone Peak team, they're coming after these guys hard. American Fork needs to hold on to the ball. It would be huge for them to be able to get 1 or 2 first downs here, at least get out of the shadow of their own.
And I believe Lone Peak still has 2 of their timeouts, so they can use that as well. But this is tough starting field position as well for American Fork.
Always go on 2
Prince.
down here.
And
Always want to go
behind.
on 2 down here because, if you jump, you lose 2 yards. If they jump, you get 5. So typically when you're backed up against your own goal line, you're going to work on, coming out of the end zone. And that's one of the things that typically you'll see is a lot of times teams will go on 2 to try and get that cheap 5 yards.
So 2nd and 10 as Offie wasn't able to get anything on first down. But if they really want to secure a victory on this drive, they need a first down. It's a play action pass. Capone's going to roll out, and an incomplete pass as he was looking for Richards as his first option. So clock stops, and now it's a 3rd and 10 from your own 3-yard line.
Yeah, not a bad play call. It worked for him earlier in the game. But that time, Lone Peak was ready. It just feels like this Lone Peak defense is ready to make a big play.
Big 3rd down here for the home squad. They take over after a turnover on downs. Let's see if they can convert. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Manuel in the end zone, he's going for a slant, and it is caught! Let's see where they mark him. They're going to say it's just past that first down marker.
Big time play there by the sophomore receiver.
Ty Homestead, the guy we've been talking about all night, gets that first down on an excellent catch.
Ooh, they're not.
They're going to say short.
Wow. That's a couple of spots that were a little bit.
And now we've had, really on back-to-back possessions, 2 teams that have argued with the spot that the refs have put this in. So Lone Peak thought that maybe on their drive the ball was farther, they got a first down. Now American Fork, it looked like he went farther, but they mark it down at the 11. Refs are calling a timeout as Coach Bam is just going absolutely crazy with the line judge.
Yeah, he's going off on him. He's probably going to he'll get a warning before they throw. They're not going to throw a 15-yarder on him right here. They might give him a warning, but he called timeout just so he can get a piece of his mind. And frankly, from where we're at, it looks to me like there's 2 bad spots. But we'll see if we can get the Lone Peak coaches to give us a look at their replay.
So the refs conversing right now.
Oh, yeah, you guys got scared.
And I am not sure for which reason. American Fork has called a timeout. As Aaron Bent is talking with the refs, and it looks like he's talking about the clock situation. Try and see if they can keep it rolling after the catch.
Yeah, that's what it looked like. Oh, yeah.
But now American Fork will be forced to punt on a 4th and 2. The Knights have another chance to try and tie this one up.
Well, the video replay from the Lone Peak coaches seemed to indicate that we were right, that the 4th down play for Lone Peak should have been a first down, and the 3rd down play there for American Fork should have been a first down. So we'll see if it all works out in the end for.
So the Cavemen will punt from their own end zone. Oh, and it's a beauty. Caught at the 40. Here's Isaac moving out to the 50 on the left side. He's got blockers and more. Flag in the backfield. Looks like this one might be called back, but as of now, it's Isaac Fanua in the end zone.
We'll see what the flag was. There was a couple of guys on the ground going at it way far away from the play. Exact opposite side of the field, but, you know, the kid's got to know. If you're not in the play, don't do anything stupid.
So we've got some spots, we've got some flags that are making this a pretty dramatic fourth quarter.
Yeah, there's some pretty fired up folks on both sidelines.
So he threw the marker shortly after the return started. So there were 2 holding calls, it looks like, against Lone Peak. So that will set them back. But once again, the Knights plenty of time. You've got over 4 minutes left to try and tie this one up here at 28.
It's still good field position, even though, you know, they got stopped on 4th down, or supposedly got stopped on 4th down. The defense does their job. They hold. They get the ball back on the plus side of the field. Now they're going to go empty. First time we've seen empty tonight for Lone Peak.
Empty formation. Christensen gets the snap, looking to go deep, finds Jared Poole up the middle. He cuts it back to the 20, to the 10, and down at the 5-yard line. Jared Poole shows up and shows out and puts Lone Peak in excellent field position to score and tie it up.
Wow, he took about a little 12-yard in route. He caught it, put his foot in the dirt, reverse, pivoted out of it, spun the defense around and just about got into the end zone. Wow, that was an athletic play.
Plays like that remind you that kid is P4 bound, and you can see why with that athleticism. So it's 1st and goal from the 5. Christensen under center. I formation. Handoff. Tahi stopped at the 5-yard line.
Man, once again, the American Fork defensive line steps up.
Might have even lost a yard there. They're marking him down at the 6.
Dallin Afu, another fantastic player for American Fork. Just beat his guy, beat him right across his face, blew it up. You gotta block 61 to 65. If you don't block those 2 American Fork players, bad things happen to your offense.
So same formation. Pula Twins take the wideout options on either side. Now Jaron moves in closer to the offensive line. It's play action. Jaron catches it, but he's out of bounds, and they'll mark him out at about the 3.5-yard line.
A little double move whip route. So you start like you're running your slant, and then you reverse pivot and go straight to the sideline. Good job defensively there for American Fork to stay with him.
So a 3rd and 4 now. They need to get this one in the end zone. They couldn't do it the last time. And the entire home crowd on their feet. Christensen gets the snap. He's going for a fade with Pula. And it is caught! Touchdown Lone Peak in dramatic fashion! And an unbelievable catch. Kenneth Pula, his 2nd of the night.
Just kind of had a feeling it was going to come down to one of those 2 making a big play for Lone Peak here at the end of the ball game, and sure enough, we see it. And they, one-on-one on the outside. That's a really tough ask for any defensive back. So Lone Peak kick away from tying it up.
American Fork knows this PAT is crucial as they chant to block the kick. It is up and in, and we've got ourselves a tied ball game. Lone Peak comes back from 14 down at the beginning of the 4th, 14 unanswered now with 2.5 minutes to go. The Cavemen now with a chance to maybe steal that momentum back and get a game-winning drive. But unbelievable resilience by Lone Peak and a great drive led by the Pula Twins.
Yeah, just a good job by their coaching staff, figuring out what route combos were going to work against the defense, the looks that they were getting from American Fork. And hats off to Cruz Christensen. He's made good decisions with the ball. He's gotten the ball out on time. He's found his receivers in rhythm. He's really done a really good job here in this second half, especially the last couple of drives.
So American Fork with 1 timeout and 2.5 minutes to go, ready to receive the ball. They missed a field goal near the end of the third quarter, or about the middle of the third quarter on their opening drive, but just couldn't get anything going after that. Kickoff will go through the end zone, so the Cavemen will have an 80-yard field ahead of them for a chance to win this one in what would be a dramatic upset against the #1 team in the state. Although American Fork is ranked number 10, I mean, this would be just a monumental win for the program.
Yeah, it'd be big for them to beat Lone Peak. Lone Peak's typically finished better than they have over the years, and it would be great for the program. It's a tough ask. I think this Lone Peak defense is playing fired up football the last quarter and a half, and American Fork needs to make sure that they don't give Lone Peak the ball back with a bunch of time, whether they score or not.
So 1st and 10, ball at the 20. Manuela, play action pass. He's going to keep it himself. Gains about 3 on the play. He'll take it to the 23.
We'll see how much of a hurry American Fork's in. I mean, obviously, they're going to try and move the ball down the field, but they need to do it without taking a chance of a turnover. That would be disastrous at this point.
So here's Manuela on a 2nd and 6. Looking to pass, finds his receiver on a slant route, but it's dropped. Cash Tayese had it and then dropped it. So now that'll set up a 3rd and 6.
A little different defensive look that time from Teleafu, the corner on that side. He looked like he was dropping into that soft coverage that we've seen most of the night from Lone Peak, and then he jumped into the face of the route runner.
Lone
Pretty
Peak
good
crowd.
route that got run, but pretty good defense. A little different look that they hadn't seen.
Lone Peak crowd starting to get into it. Cash catches it. It's at the 27, so he will be short of a 1st down.
Oh,
and a
my
flag will come
gosh.
out, though, and that is just what you do not want to see for a Lone Peak fan. They had him short, but that unsportsmanlike late hit, that's just going to be critical because that's going to give American Fork the 1st down.
Man, you do everything right, and then you just kind of lose composure. You lose focus. You don't think it through, and you throw a guy to the ground after the whistle's been blown for a few seconds. Always comes back to bite you.
So
That's a
now
huge penalty. Huge penalty.
the flag will give American Fork a 1st down, and it moves the ball all the way up to the 43-yard line. And again, you don't need a touchdown. You just need a field goal. Worthington misses his first one, but they only need to move this to around the 25-yard line.
Yeah, and you've got a minute 53. You could still run the ball. You got a 4-man front, 6 in the box, so it's pretty straight-up defense you're seeing from Lone Peak. Screen.
Quick pass. Tayese's got it on the outside, moves his way inside, still moving, and he gets a 1st down. What a move by Cash to get it out into Lone Peak territory.
Tayese with fantastic individual effort. A good job by the American Fork receivers to stay on a body. A lot of times you'll see a receiver go out to block somebody and he'll stay 2 or 3 yards away from this guy. They did a good job of staying on the body, giving him a chance to make a move and break the tackle. Big 1st down.
90 seconds to go, 1st and 10, ball on the Lone Peak 43-yard line. Another screen. This time it's Ty. Ty's got it on the outside, gets to the 39, can't get out of bounds, so the clock will keep running.
You know, they're seeing the soft coverage. They're dropping. The first step from the DB is backwards, so you get a screen like that, you're almost guaranteed 5 yards if that DB drops off his first step.
Now American Fork taking their time. They want to drain this clock so they can get a game-winning field goal. It'll be 2nd and 5. Ball now on the 38-yard line. Motion by Dyson. Manuela gets the snap. He's pressured. He rolls out, almost sacked. He's going deep, and it is almost intercepted. Another drop by the Lone Peak secondary. It was in the hands of Toatele Afu, the senior defensive back, but he couldn't come down with it.
Oh, Telly made a fantastic athletic move to get up in the air and thought he had it. Brings up a big 3rd down because you're not going to kick the field goal from here, so you've got to go for it on fourth down, whether you get it or not. So
3rd down and 6. They have to get this first down if they want to get a field goal to win this. And it's going to be a quarterback keeper by Manuela. He's not going to get it as he gets to maybe the 37-yard line. Timeout called by American Fork with 45 seconds to go.
So the thing that you've got to think about here as a coach is, do we attempt this field goal? You attempt it doesn't get blocked. Lone Peak gets the ball at 25. So likely they're gonna kick it. But the chance of making something from this distance, I think it's pretty low. So probably go ahead and punt this one. From Teleafu, one of my old Alta kids that coached 2 of his older brothers, Cole and Tu'u. It's good to see him playing well out there for Lone Peak.
So from where the ball is right now, it would be about a 52-yarder, which is it's very rare at this level.
Yeah,
and you can pin Lone Peak back to basically within their own 10 if you haven't get a good punt out of this, which would basically force overtime.
Yeah, maybe Jack McAllister from Alta would kick this.
Offense is back out there, though, so they're going to go for this.
They're going to try and draw them off. I can't imagine they're going to really go for it.
I mean, you said in the first half they're playing to win.
But they are, and I thought that early, and so you never know. But I bet they're going on at least 2 or 3 if they do go.
So here we go, 4th and 4. Manuela gets the snap. He's looking, and it's caught. Tracy's got it, and more. Down to the 24-yard line. What a first down and what a gutsy call on 4th down.
Yeah, you know what? Hats off. Hats off to the American Fork coaches for having the guts to make that play call.
So ball will stop after the spike. It'll be 32 seconds. And now you're definitely in field goal range. Lone Peak with 2 timeouts. You'd have to think American Fork is just going to try and run this up the gut, try and keep it center.
Yeah, it's still, for high school, that's still a bit of a 42 yards. That's a tough ask. A little bit into the wind. The wind's died down quite a bit from the start of the ball game. So I think you're still in attack mode. But if you're comfortable with your field goal kicker for 42, you're right. Just center it in the middle of the field.
Manuela looking to pass. He's going for the end zone and overshoots his receiver. Intended that time for Homestead. It'll set up a 3rd and 10 now with 28 seconds to go.
Kind of fits with the way they've called their game on the American Fork sideline, that they would go for the end zone right there. I like that. I like the fact that they're attacking.
So now this is a big play call. Do you play for the field goal, try and get yourself some extra yards, or because you don't want that long of a kick, you go for the throw again?
I'm trying to get 5 to 7 yards here, whether you run it or throw it.
All receivers to the left. Manuela looking to pass. He's going for the end zone again. And once again, it is overthrown in the back of the end zone. 23 seconds remaining, so this will send out the kicking unit. And a big kick upcoming now for Jace Worthington. He missed one earlier, if I remember correctly, from about 35 or so, maybe a little bit less.
Yeah, this is a big-time kick right here.
Be a 41-yarder.
Got to have a good snap and a good hold.
The biggest kick of his career. It is up. And it is good. Unbelievable. American Fork back up by 3.
This place is going nuts. The whole press box is shaking. The fans are on their feet, dancing, jumping up and down. Hats off to the American Fork players, coaching staff. Now they've just got to get this last 23 seconds off the clock and then go home tied for first in Region 3.
And if this field goal stands, if nothing else happens, Jace is going to be a popular man on campus on Monday. And the student section over here getting ready to storm the field, but we still have 23 seconds left in this ball game. But the vibes are high right now for American Fork. What a drive with 2 minutes to go.
Big time play calls, big time throws. And Wells really has played a fantastic ball game tonight. I hats off to this whole American Fork team. What a way to show up. Now it's not over. 23 seconds. You're probably telling your kicker, kick it into the middle of the field, make them have to field it so you can burn 5, 8, 10 seconds off. But the flip side of that is that Lone Peak's done a really good job returning kicks. They nearly returned the first one for a touchdown.
They've been really good on special teams today.
So he may want to try and kick into the end zone. The second kickoff they had, they kicked it to the second level guys to try and avoid their deep guys, their speed guys getting a hold of the ball. So we'll see what the strategy here is for the special teams. American Fork 23 seconds away from a huge upset. Maybe the biggest upset since last week.
Yeah. What a back-to-back week to start Region 3 play. I mean, we've been hyping it up all season long, and so far through 2 weeks, it has just played out masterfully.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. And, high school football, they're teenage kids. Anything can happen.
And that kickoff is booted, and it will be a touchback.
That's a big-time kick, to kick it all the way into the end zone, into the wind. Of course, he's on cloud 9 right now. He just kicked a game-winning field goal, what looks to be a game-winning field goal.
So now the Knights, with 2 timeouts left, 23 seconds remaining, this defense has to keep everything in front of them on this drive. You cannot let a receiver slip behind you, especially when you've got a dangerous duo in the pool of troops.
You got time for maybe 4 or 5 plays. If American Fork's dropping hard, you want to take a 10 or 15-yard route right in front of them, get out of bounds. Try and do that twice so that you're near midfield with 2 or 3 chances. Of course, they've got the playmakers to make this happen.
So here we go, 23 seconds remaining. Ball at their own 20. Empty formation, 5 receivers for Christensen. He gets the snap, looking to pass. He's got a receiver, caught! Jared Poole's got it, and more! Down to the 40! Unbelievable start for Lone Peak. Jared Poole showing you why he's effective, especially in late game situations.
They just ran everybody off, Poole at about 15 yards on a dig route behind the seam route. And Christensen put that ball right on the money.
See, and you talk about, you drop in cover 4, you drop to let people in front of you, but then it allows receivers like that to catch in space and make plays.
And when you've got the best athlete on the field on your side, and you get him in space, man, anything can happen. So they've got, realistically, they probably want to pick up another 8 or they're 10 or 15 yards if they can. That just brings in some more route combos that you can run closer to the end zone. But really, they got the 2 brothers put that ball up in the end zone. See something good happens.
An unbelievable play on first down. A gain of 40 sets them at the 40.
Another 15, 20 yards there at field goal range, too.
Motion by Tahi. Goes back out. Christensen looking to pass. We got a flag on the play. Pula catches it down at the 21.
So they're gonna call Tahi. So he motioned into the backfield, and then he was supposed to motion back up to the line of scrimmage, but he was moving forward towards the line of scrimmage when the ball was snapped. So that's an illegal motion. They're going to bring it back.
And that is a hard penalty for Lone Peak. Once again, they're just finding Jared Poole in open territory. 10 seconds now remain. You have to think They just need one play to set them up in field goal territory. But the ball will be set back at the 45-yard line.
Yeah, they're gonna try to throw it down the middle somewhere. You've got plenty of time. Take a full drop. Get the play.
So a 1st and 15 as the refs now converge near where the ball was laid down.
I'm guessing it's a question on the clock. How much time should be on the clock? But
it was interesting to see American Fork drop when it was 1st and 10, drop so much. I mean, they're really just saying, we'll make you kick a field goal at this point.
Well, yeah, you can't lose to a field goal. You could lose to a touchdown. So you got to pick one of the two. Keep those guys in front, force them to make a big-time play with their kicker.
Refs still talking.
So Christensen's got a big enough arm that if they Hail Mary this, he can get that into the end zone. He just has to have enough time so that his receivers get all the way up the field.
And they're going to let the clock run, so it's going before the snap. Christensen looking to pass. He's pressured. This has to be the last play. He has to go for the end zone. They're going to call. Hang on, the refs are saying. The refs are saying there should be time on the field, but we do have fans storming.
Yeah, it did look to me like by the time he got out of bounds, there still should have been time on the clock. Trying to keep the American Fork students off the field. I don't think
so we still have fans rushing, but the other students telling them to move back because we still have, in my estimates, maybe a second or less.
Kind of a wild scene as the security tries to keep the American Fork students off the field. That kind of reminds me of a few years back when BYU and Utah played.
That's right, 2012.
They rushed the field like 11 times. It's kind of the feel to it. You just don't know. Is it over? Is it not over? Do they have another play?
So
they put that ball up into the end zone.
The hard part was that the clock started. They had it rolling before the snap. That's what the head referee had signaled to roll the clock, and so those are some critical seconds that were taken out. But they're going to put 0.3 seconds back on the board. And for the purposes of those watching at home, we'll just put one because that is unavailable in our technology. But this has to be a Hail Mary towards the end zone. So this is a win or lose situation.
Right now, a game can't end on a defensive penalty. So they put it up in the air, and there's a defensive pass interference or defensive holding. They have another chance to get the ball up the field, or a chance at another play. So you don't see Hail Marys work very often, but back in 2020,
you'd have to think
2020, we hit two in a row.
Yeah,
one against Orem, one against Desert Hills. So it can happen.
Is the key to just keep the quarterback alive to make it so that all of his receivers can converge to give them an opportunity?
Typically, what you do is you'll draw. We call it a dash drop. So he drops three, sets his feet, and then he half rolls one side or the other. That buys some time, keeps your defenders in front of you, and it gives your guys enough time to get in the end zone. And then at that point, you're just throwing it up and hoping your guys goes and gets it. And look, he's got two guys that probably are going to win most jump balls out here.
A reminder that after this game, we'll bring up our Tap Bank helmet sticker for either our moment or player of the game. And we've got a lot of options to choose from no matter how this game goes. But ref's still talking right now near the Lone Peak sideline. And is it about the spot? Let's see what's going on here. American Fork is saying they should say this game is over. But on the other sideline, Coach Brockbank is talking with the refs. I mean, and this is long. This is a long conversation.
And you can understand the excitement and the intensity from both sides. So I like that the officials, I mean, even though the fans stormed the field and technically it probably could have been a penalty, I think they're handling this okay. We'll see what happens when they make whatever decision they're making.
Okay, so Coach Brockbank comes out. He throws his headset. It looks like this game is over. It is. So after all of that, American Fork upsets #1 Lone Peak. And now the fans storm the field to celebrate with their home squad. Wow, what? I mean, the refs were just a huge part of this fourth quarter in a lot of ways.
Yeah, there were some questionable calls, and people will talk about that and say, well, he did this and he did that. But the bottom line is American Fork came out. They had a fantastic game plan, and the kids executed the game plan. And, you know, hats off to the American Fork coaches. They made some gutsy calls throughout the game, and their kids came through in the end. I can't say enough good things about American Fork. And even with this loss, Lone Peak is a contender for the state 6A championship. The fact that they went and beat Corner Canyon like they did last week, you know, anything can happen. Anything can happen. We've seen that now in this region. 2 huge upsets back-to-back weeks.
So they're really 4-week gauntlet. Second week was today. Next game for Lone Peak will be at Skyridge on the road. And again, that's just in other rankings outside of KSL, Skyridge is considered the #1 team in the state. So Lone Peak has got their work cut out for them, and this region's no joke.
Yeah, every week you better show up with your big boy pants because you're going to get punched in the face. And you better be ready. The coaches at this level are good. You make a mistake, they're going to attack it. They're going to find your weakness. So, but hats off to American Fork.
Meanwhile, for American Fork, they will go to Lehigh next and then Corner Canyon on the run before they finish with Skyridge. Let's close out with our Tab Bank helmet sticker of the game. And Dave, which moment or player would you like to give this honor to?
You know, I think that it's really a huge team win, but quarterback Manuel did a fantastic job running the team and not making mistakes and making clutch plays at the end of the game. So hats off to him and American Fork. A couple of the defensive linemen played really well, Pat and Newton, but
this game didn't disappoint, and
no.
I think because of his play tonight, he really just led his team to victory on those very impressive drives.
Yeah, and he hadn't been playing quite as well probably as he expected himself to, as he wanted to. But here he submitted himself. He's the guy here at American Fork. Look, they believed they could beat anybody, and they did. They just beat the top-ranked team in the state. So great job for American Fork. Great job for Lone Peak. They never gave up. They came back. The coaches made some great adjustments. Outside of maybe a couple of interesting spots, could have gone the other way.
2 weeks in a row, the #1 team in the state goes down. This week it is Lone Peak after American Fork drives down and gets a game-winning field goal to win it, 31-28. That'll do it for us here tonight, here on the Rewind Sports Network on KSLSports.com. For Brian, for Dave, I'm Nate. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in, and we will see you next time here on the Rewind Sports Network on KSLSports.com. Good night, everyone.